How's it going? After Yi Zan left, Zhang Tian narrowed his turbid old eyes and looked at Su Mei beside him thoughtfully. I asked inexplicably. Ha! Su Mei was stunned for a moment. He muttered in a strange way. Very handsome. Zhang Tian was stunned. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Ahem. Old man, what I'm asking is, how are you? Su Mei was suddenly startled. Come to his senses. He couldn't help but look a little embarrassed, and smiled with a blush. He said weakly, stable as an old dog. Zhang Tian's mouth twitched slightly. This description. A little inappropriate. After all, Yi Zan is also the future boss of the national team. How can you be as stable as an old dog? But, the description is very apt. Zhang Tian smiled and said slightly, it is indeed very stable. He doesn't look like a high school student. Instead, he looks like a veteran who has been in the workplace for a long time. He behaves so naturally when facing you and me. Su Mei raised her eyebrows and heard the meaning of Zhang Tian's words. You mean, Yi Zan's identity is not what the information shows. With the status of Su Mei and Zhang Tian, it is easy to find all Yi Zan's information. A student from Zonghai number 1 middle school. No background. Unremarkable. Only. How could such a student behave so naturally and calmly when facing the president of the Magic Association and Su Mei who had transferred to the temple? The second turn was completed in one day. Professional SR level apprentice Dharma Saint. Even. Completed the SSS level supreme trial perfectly. Zhang Tian's meaning was already obvious. There is something in the words. Yi Zan. Not as simple as they saw. Possible. They saw it. Just the tip of the iceberg. Thinking of this, Su Mei couldn't help but tremble all over and clenched her teeth. If what Yi Zan showed at this time was just the tip of the iceberg, then how terrifying it is. This afternoon, the tyrant boss in the Silver Dungeon, Forest of the Undead, was killed by a professional from other provinces. Rumor. The professional who took action was an SSR level mage. Several batches of forbidden spells were released. It exploded with tens of millions of damage. This talented professional from the province was also called a tyrant by the professionals who witnessed his passing. Zhang Tian said to himself. And Su Mei's eyes couldn't help but enlarge a lot. You mean, that tyrant is the person behind Yi Zan? Su Mei's plump lips raised slightly. There is a feeling of being out of breath. Perhaps that tyrant has something to do with Yi Zan. Zhang Tian sighed. Expressed his conjecture. What do you mean? From the perspective of an old man like me, it is absolutely impossible for Yi Zan, an ordinary high school student without any background, to be promoted to level 30 in one day and dare to challenge the SSS level supreme trial. Most. Behind Yi Zan, there is a giant who can shatter our Zonghai city with just one stamp of his feet. At least it's an SSR level guild. Information we can't find. That doesn't mean there aren't any. Possible. It was just wiped out by the SSR level guild behind Yi Zan. Many Apex level guilds and 9-level professional masters will throw them into small places in order to hone the minds of talented offspring in their families. Possible. Yi Zan is such an Apex level genius. Speaking of which, even Zhang Tian himself was a little frightened and couldn't help but take a deep breath. And next to him was Su Mei. His expression was almost frozen. The beautiful legs wearing high heels trembled slightly. The atmosphere fell silent for a moment. Zhang Tian and Su Mei were both silent. A moment of thought. It's scary to think about it. Fine. Master Su. Don't be too nervous. Whether it is the tyrant or Yi Zan, at present, there is no threat to our Zonghai city. On the contrary, there will only be countless benefits. If Yi Zan is recruited by the national team, you and I can get rewards from the Education Bureau, and you may even be transferred from Zonghai City to Zhangyan Province. Secondly, I think we can win over Yi Zan a little bit. Zhang Tian narrowed his old eyes slightly. Have to say, older gingers are more spicy. Being able to sit in the position of president of the Magic Association. Does Zhang Tian only rely on strength? How is it possible? Humanity is so sophisticated. Regardless of the background behind Yi Zan. Or Yi Zan's own qualifications. No matter how you look at it, it's worth wooing. As long as you can hold this thigh well. In the future, both Zhang Tian and Su Mei can rely on their relationship with Yi Zan. A meteoric rise. President Zhang, please elaborate. Su Mei's eyes lit up slightly. It's very simple. Hold your thighs. Humanity is wise. In peacetime, it would just be giving cigarettes and alcohol. No cigarettes in cigarette boxes. No wine in the wine box. Zhang Tian shook his head and murmured. Su Mei was stunned again. Hiss. And now, put it in a world where everyone changes jobs. That is, take Yi Zan to brush up and upgrade. Skill books, exclusive boss equipment, experience potions, bloodline potions. If there's something good, just use it up and give it away. Zhang Tian said with all his treasures. Su Mei suddenly opened the door to a new world. No way. Su Mei had just graduated from graduate school. How do you know this? After hearing Zhang Tian's careful teaching, it suddenly dawned on me. It has to be you, President Zhang. Su Mei took a deep breath and nodded heavily. The beautiful eyes are slightly curved into crescent moons. Smile charmingly. Zonghai City, there happens to be a golden copy that has been opened. Zhang Tian spoke again. The two of us, just act a little embarrassed and ask Yi Zan for help and let him go with us to brush the book. By the time, he can't just level up. We can also give some more boss exclusive rewards. Secondly, on the surface, they are doing us a favor, so why don't we give them a few favors? It goes back and forth like this. Yi Zan will definitely get a lot of good things. And wait for him to grow up. Who impressed you the most? Su Mei aperture opening. Got the answer. The president of the Magic Association and Su Mei who transferred to the temple. Yep. Old man Zhang chuckled, showing a sly smile. Old fried dough sticks. It's a veteran indeed. Su Mei was stunned for a moment. The brain cells are almost burned out. Go home. Go drink some sweet water to moisten your throat. Zhang Tian yawned and said with a smile, see you later, Master Su Mei. Okay, walk slowly. President Zhang. Su Mei nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. Recalling what Zhang Tian said about the world's wisdom. At the same time, Zonghai City. City Center. Golden Rose Guild. The top floor of the building. Luxurious large flat floor suite. Xu Yue was startled and sat up from the bed. Ding. Congratulations, you successfully completed the mission. Second turn Yi Shen. Ding. Since the character relationship entries have not changed, and they are still childhood sweethearts, they will receive a half discount reward. I Soul Blade Supreme Grade Gold. In Xu Yue's mind, there was a cold reminder. Yi Zan has been promoted to level 30. Second turn. So, Xu Yue received the reward. However, the character relationship entry is still childhood sweetheart. So, her reward was compromised. It is not an S-level skill book. Just a supreme grade gold weapon. Very suitable for the assassin profession. Boss exclusive rewards. Ice Soul Blade. A long blade appeared in front of Xu Yue's eyes. Ice blue. Sharp. Gorgeous patterns. Good. Xu Yue's eyes lit up slightly. He took a deep breath with some joy. However, next moment, but she threw the assassin's long blade aside. Yi Shen. In one day, the second transfer. Xu Yue opened his eyes wide in shock and murmured in disbelief. What to say? Judging from Yi Zan's life script, Yi Zan was promoted to rank 2. It should be about half a month later. Specific situation. Xu Yue is not very clear. This is how the script is written. Under normal circumstances, even if Yi Zan had the help of Xu Yue and the Golden Rose Guild, fly in groups. So, it will take at least several days before you can be promoted to rank 2. How? Yi Zan was inexplicably promoted to level 30. Damn it. It's over. Yi Shen doesn't play according to the routine. It's different from the situation introduced in the script. Xu Yue gasped for breath, and his heart couldn't help but tremble. Yi Shen, I changed my job early. The fourth natural disaster. Disaster of the undead. Will it also come early? The corners of Xu Yue's mouth twitched. He showed a dull expression like a silly roe deer. If the fourth disaster came early on the day, then it can be cool. Follow the introduction of the script. The fourth plague. Only Yi Zan, who was promoted to rank 9, could handle it. But now, how high is Yi Shen? Just turned 2. Where did the 9 turn, forbidden curse Dharma Saint, come from? At that time, the fourth natural disaster will come directly and sweep the entire world of job transfer. Not only she, Shu Yue, but also the Golden Rose Guild behind her want to be cool. The whole world must be destroyed. Or, Yi Shen turned dark in advance. Hiss. Thinking of this, Shu Yue trembled all over again. Terrified. Compared with the early arrival of the fourth natural disaster, what Shu Yue was more afraid of was undoubtedly Yi Zan's early darkening. That's demon. 72 demon gods in the abyss world followed Yi Zan. As for Yi Zan, directly transform into a demon tyrant. Or, demon lord. The horror of that thing is much scarier than the fourth natural disaster. Lu Qing. F*K. It's not like that little framer is doing some burning operation again, is it? Shu Yue breathed heavily. The brain cells are all burned out. Possible. Yi Zan's life script makes it very clear. Yi Shen eventually darkened. He turned to the fourth natural disaster. The reason is simple. He was tricked by Lu Qing, the little one. The grief-stricken Yi Shen. No more changing jobs for everyone in the world to fight against the fourth natural disaster. On the contrary, crazy hunting for professionals and adventurers all over the world. Use massive experience points to strengthen the team of the fourth natural disaster. Became the only one to survive. Professional. Or, he is no longer considered a professional. But the demon tyrant boss. Anyway. The plot is bloody. Also very scary. Hiss. It's over. No matter what the situation is, it's over. Shu Yue felt like crying but had no tears. What to say? If everything develops according to the trajectory in the life script, that would be great. The relationship between Shu Yue and Yi Zan has been upgraded from childhood sweethearts to brotherly love. Or, the sea is dead and the stone is broken. No matter how bad it is, holding the child's hand will do. Then, hug Yi Zan's thigh tightly. No matter Yi Zan turns dark in the end. Or not black. Anyway, Shu Yue has a backer. The toughest backer in the world. The fourth plague. Not afraid at all. But now. Just in case. Yi Zan had already been heartbroken by Lu Qing in advance. Darkened. She no longer recognizes Shu Yue as her childhood sweetheart. That's a bit troublesome. The thighs are not hugged. Backing. Snap it. Gone. Certainly. If it is said that Yi Zan's mentality is very stable now, it is just that he has developed in advance. That's a little problematic, too. That is, will it affect the progress of the fourth natural disaster? Will the fourth natural disaster come early? For a moment, Shu Yue had a headache. My head is shutting down. No, no. Shu Yue took a deep breath and tried to clear his head. Then, she frowned slightly. He murmured thoughtfully. Do two things. First, hold Yi Shen's thigh as fast as possible and raise the character relationship entry to above, brotherly love. In this way, if the fourth natural disaster really comes early, Yi Shen can save my life. Second, help Yi Shen grow up as quickly as possible. Otherwise, if the fourth natural disaster comes early because Yi Shen grows too fast, it will be troublesome. We must let Yi Shen go to the second world abyss dungeon as soon as possible. Conquer the demon apostle NPC as soon as possible. Shu Yue's heart trembled. I'm almost out of breath. My head hurts. Who gave her a life script? If you don't know these situations. Not bad. The fourth plague came. Anyway, just cool down. But it's different now. You can't just eat and wait to die. The thighs must be hugged tightly. How to please Yi Shen? Shu Yue bit her lips tightly and started brainstorming. The script makes it very clear. Yi Shen. Suspicious by nature. If you come up, you will be given all kinds of good things. It will definitely arouse Yi Shen's suspicion. I think Shu Yue has ulterior motives. If the character relationship entry changes to ulterior motives, Shu Yue will cry to death. The childhood sweetheart that took more than 10 years to get along can't be lost just like that. I'm afraid I won't be able to sleep tonight. Shu Yue was about to cry. And right now, in her mind, there was a cold reminder again. Ding! The quest for the next rank 1 segment has been started, S Level Bloodline. Task Introduction. Yi Shen currently has the ability to kill a 100 level boss. Help Yi Shen kill a dragon boss with S Level Bloodline strength, and the boss rank must not be lower than LV. Level 200. After completing the task, you can get the reward, SR Level Skill Book. Hiss. The moment I heard the prompt. Shu Yue. Senseless. Shu Yue was immediately stunned. Yi Zan. Just changed jobs. Trainee mage. Not to mention being promoted to level 30 in one day. What now? It's actually possible to finish off a level 100 boss. What level is this? LV. Level 30 can kill LV. Level 100 boss alone. Simply. Destroyed 3 outlooks. The script of life does not mean. Was Yi Shen an E-level trainee mage before his third turn? Shu Yue suddenly got excited. Want to cry but no tears. You call this an E-level trainee mage? Not even the Dharma god is so fierce. Now, Shu Yue finally understood the situation. Yi Zan's development has completely deviated from the life script trajectory. To put it simply, Yi Zan, the devil tyrant, out of control. And what Shu Yue just thought about might actually happen. Yi Zan turns dark in advance. The fourth disaster comes early on the day. It's possible. Because Yi Shen didn't play according to the routine. It's different from the trajectory of the script. No. Shu Yue's heart couldn't help but tremble several times, and he panted heavily, trying his best to restore his oxygen-deprived brain to normal. Then, she hurriedly took out her phone. Prepare to send a WeChat message to Yi Zan. You have to hug your thighs quickly. Otherwise, sooner or later it will be cool. Shu Yue was really panicked. As the old saying goes, accompanying you is like accompanying a tiger. The demon tyrants have all deviated from the life script. This tiger could go berserk at any time. Shu Yue didn't waste any time. She was afraid that she would never have a chance in the future. Thinking of this, Shu Yue took a deep breath, calmed down the crazy emotions in his heart, and sent Yi Zan a WeChat message. Yi Shuangigi. It's raining heavily in Zonghai City. I'm afraid. Shu Yue frowned slightly. Try to make your tone more ladylike. No way. Shu Yue is not an innocent little white rabbit. But, in order to hug Yi Zan's thigh tightly, she has really been pretending for more than 10 years. White rabbit. Seemingly. Do all men like this? Harmful. Shu Yue has never been in love, how could she know? Anyway, that's how the entry for childhood sweetheart came out. As long as it works. Let her do whatever she wants. To survive. What's wrong with being wronged all of a sudden? Your life is at stake. However, WeChat chat box page. Yi Zan didn't reply. Maybe asleep. Shu Yue swallowed, and his heart tightened. Hold on. Shu Yue let out a long sigh. She decided. You have to interact with Yi Xuanduo quickly. Improve character relationship entries as soon as possible. You can't always be childhood sweethearts. It has been upgraded to brotherly love. Or, for life. The more stable the better. In this case, even if the sky falls, Yi Shen will save his own life. 2 days later. Zonghai City. In a rental house. Yi Zan slightly opened his dry eyes. Hiss. 2 days. Yi Zan was stunned. Somewhat unbelievable. It seems that he is indeed tired. I squinted for 2 days. Click on the phone. Yi Zan habitually opened a short video app called Douyin. This habit is left over from the previous life. When I wake up, I'll watch a bunch of short videos first. Happy. The world of job transfer for all people also has this app. Only. The content is somewhat different. It's not about showing off your wealth. Instead, they show off things like skill books, boss exclusive weapons, forbidden spells, and apex level bloodline mounts. And the video of cleaning the glass. Ahem. The quality is also much higher. All kinds of beautiful professionals with plump figures and stunning looks. In front of the camera. Burn. Ali. Yi Zan narrowed his eyes slightly. Yo. Good. The quality is much higher than those female anchors in previous lives. Especially the priesthood. It is commonly known as milk. Hemp. Damn it. So big. Hiss. Wrong. Suddenly, Yi Zan was stunned. Because I just watched a few happy little videos of Xiao Xiao. Result. After another swipe, it turned out to be shock. The tyrant boss of Zonghai City was killed alone. Close double angle bracket. Apex level genius from other provinces. Suspected to be an SSR level genius. Close double angle bracket. What is a tyrant? He is a tyrant. Close double angle bracket. Forbidden curse. Detailed explanation of the identity of tyrant. Close double angle bracket. The temple of job transfer is blocked across the entire territory. It is reported online that a young professional is challenging the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. Close double angle bracket. Zhonghai City's apex level dark horse. Suspected to be the young master of S-level Winter Guild. Close double angle bracket. The cool school beauty Lu Qing has been promoted to the second rank, and she has a one-on-one discussion about the profession of Holy Light Mage. Close double angle bracket. Watched some of these videos. Yi Zhan couldn't help but dumbfounded. That's right. He's on fire. Not an ordinary fire. But a fire. Not only the entire Zhonghai city is talking about him. Even the neighboring Zhongnan province has paid attention to Yi Zhan, the tyrant. Kill the tyrant boss alone. Forbidden curse. Tens of millions of injuries. Kill the cool school beauty. All these things combined made Yi Zhan completely angry. Certainly. Challenge the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. It was also dug out by omnipotent netizens. The whole city was shocked. The whole province was shocked. The entire short video app was in uproar. There are hundreds of analyses and speculations about Yi Zhan's identity. What would they think if they knew that I'm just an ordinary high school student in No. 1 middle school in Zhonghai City? Yi Zhan narrowed his eyes slightly and burst into laughter. Certainly. I have SSS level expertise. Devil's blessing. Indeed. If Yi Zhan's true identity is exposed. Estimate. All the professionals in the city were frightened. No. To be precise. A huge tsunami will occur across the country. What to say? SSS level expertise. That's something that even the 9th turn Dharma god of the national team doesn't have. But Yi Zhan did. Even. His SSS level expertise. Abnormal to the extreme. Ability to plunder boss templates. Johan and Lu Qing actually completed their second transformation in 2 days. Yi Zhan frowned. He saw a video that made him a little stunned. Right. After thinking about it for a while, Yi Zhan was relieved. After all, the Winter Guild is an S-level certified guild. In Zhonghai City, it's considered the head guild. A high-level professional from the guild will guide you. Upgrading is hard even if you think about it quickly. Only. What made Yi Zhan frown a little? Johan actually assumed his identity. SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. What do you mean? The internal situation is the same as what everyone knows from the internet. The elemental elf boss is very strong. As for other content, it's not very convenient to disclose. I hope you can understand. Certainly. I also sincerely wish that all recent college entrance examination graduates in Zhonghai City can successfully change jobs and unlock high-level careers. Achieving excellent results in the National Unified College Entrance Examination. In video, Johan raised his chin slightly and pretended to face the camera. Then, on site, all the professionals who were watching applauded enthusiastically. See here. The corner of Yi Zhan's mouth twitched slightly, and he couldn't help but burst into laughter. Good guy. Johan. How shameless. You are so thick-skinned. Is the elemental elf boss very strong? Very strong indeed. However, Johan didn't challenge the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower at all. At this time, he was pretending to be Yi Zhan and pretending to be Bo Yi. If Johan knew that, the person he was pretending to be was the goddess's ex-boyfriend, would he be so angry that his teeth would be broken? Yi Zhan raised his eyebrows. He smiled playfully. Then I closed the Douyin app. Beep, beep. Right now. Yi Zhan's cell phone suddenly rang. A call came in. Name. Zhang Tian, President of the Zhonghai City Magic Association. Yi Zhan does not have Zhang Tian's address book. But, as the number 1 figure in Zhonghai City, Zhang Tian's phone number. Bring your own notes. Classmate Yi Zhan, are you busy? Line connected. Zhang Tian's voice was slightly surprised. Yi Zhan was stunned. Not busy. What's the matter, President Zhang? Yi Zhan asked. As such that, Zhang Tian was silent for a while. It's like organizing language. Then, he slowly said. There is a gold copy of Dragon Valley, opened. The final boss is an undead bone dragon of SR level bloodline. I want to ask you, are you interested? Zhang Tian's voice came. Yi Zan was stunned immediately. Yi Zan was stunned. Gold copy. SR level bloodline, dragon boss. How could you not be interested? You know, if Yi Zan can plunder an SR level dragon boss template, his strength will definitely increase several times. Even more than 10 times possible. After all, the dragon boss's exclusive skills and expertise are all equivalent to apex level. Certainly. Yi Zan took a deep breath and said truthfully. That's good. On the other end of the phone, Zhang Tian's tone became much cheerful. An old voice came again. As such that, classmate Yi Zan, the final boss of this Dragon Valley dungeon is the undead bone dragon. His level is quite high, reaching LV level 235. It's very troublesome to end an apex level boss like this. And you, the SR level trainee Dharma Saint profession, come with the Holy Light System's exclusive skills, which can just restrain the undead bone dragon boss. Zhang Tian hasn't finished speaking yet. Yi Zan's eyes lit up immediately. Understood. This old boy. Want to win over yourself? No. To say wooing is a bit too subtle. It's obviously just to please. Of course, Yi Zan did not break Zhang Tian's slightly embarrassed tone. Humanity is so sophisticated. Got it. That's indeed a bit troublesome. Yi Zan smiled gently. Right. Zhang Tian followed Yi Zan's words. So, I wonder if Mr. Yi is free recently. Can you do me a favor? Come with me to the Dragon Valley dungeon. The final boss reward is yours. It's me, old man. All I need is the immortal heart of the undead bone dragon boss. Mrs. Zhang looked a little embarrassed. I asked tentatively. Yi Zan immediately coughed twice. Good guy. It's so blatant. But I like. Of course Yi Zan knew what Zhang Tian, an old boy, was thinking. After all, Yi Zan was a human being in 2 generations. I still can't see this. Even if you can see it, there is no need to explain it clearly. Zhang Tian and Su Mei knew that their profession was SR level apprentice Dharma Saint, and they wanted to please them in advance and prepare for their future career. Human nature. Very reasonable. And Yi Zan can definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Go through a golden copy. Crazy harvest of a large wave of apex level boss templates. Although, Yi Zan is very strong now. But, the golden copy is very dangerous. There may also be danger. He is assisted by a magician like the head of the Magic Association. Very stable. What's more, all the final benefits will be taken away by Yi Zan. Very cool. Thinking of this, Yi Zan smiled slightly and agreed to Zhang Tian. Very good. Zhang Tian took a deep breath. The tone was extremely exciting. He immediately said with some flattery. Classmate Yi, I am so grateful to you. After this matter is finished, old man, I will definitely remember your kindness, classmate Yi, in the future. Zhang Tian directly performed a wave of full-level operations. Words. Quite top. Nice to hear. And reasonable. Okay, let's make an appointment tomorrow. Yi Zan and Zhang Tian chatted for a while and directly set a time. I'll go to the Dragon Valley copy tomorrow. Good. Zhang Tian responded hurriedly. I heard from Mr. Yi, thank you very much. Soon. Hang up the phone. Yi Zan couldn't help but smile playfully. As expected of an old man who can sit in the position of president of the Magic Association, he is really a veteran in the workplace. This old boy has finally figured out how to deal with the world. Zhang Tian is a magician. The level is over 300. SR level profession. Want to kill an undead bone dragon boss. It's difficult. Actually, it's no big trouble. Just taking the time is enough. Find Yi Zan. But he valued Yi Zan's SR level profession. That is a level higher than the apprentice Dharma god profession. Zhang Tian naturally felt a little jealous. This wave of operations just now. All to curry favor with Yi Zan. It's considered flowers hidden in the leaves. Just hung up the phone from Zhang Tian. The WeChat page trembled twice. Zhang Tian, Su Mei, Yi Zan's friends were all added. Pass. Yi Zan narrowed his eyes slightly and prepared to turn off his phone. However, but found out that childhood sweethearts. I actually sent dozens of WeChat messages. Shu Yue. In the world of universal job transfer. The relationship between Yizan and Shu Yue is indeed good. The two grew up together. Yizan also treats Shu Yue as his sister. And Shu Yue's background. Very strong. S-level certification guild. Zonghai City's Golden Rose Guild. Certainly. Shu Yue's qualifications are not bad either. Changed job to become an S-level holy assassin. In Zonghai No 1 Middle School. She and Lu Qing are both school beauties. The monster materials dropped by Tyrant Boss can be sold to Shu Yue. Yizan raised his eyebrows and thought to himself. By the way, ask her to buy some items, skills, equipment. The Golden Rose Guild still has some weight in Zonghai City. Although, this guild is not a chamber of commerce, and the exchange is not that good. After all, it is also S-level certified. Sell the items dropped by Tyrant Boss to Shu Yue. It's a good decision. Plus the relationship between Yizan and Shu Yue. The price. It will definitely be more than what the guilds outside offer. Think of this. Yizan replied to a WeChat message. Prepare to ask Yue out for coffee. Zonghai City. City Center. In a quiet cafe. Yizan ordered 2 glasses of iced American style and another strawberry cake. Waiting for Shu Yue's arrival. Actually, Yizan was very curious about Shu Yue. What to say? In his impression, Shu Yue. Shenyan Tiansai. Good looking. Good body shape. His academic performance is not bad either. Wen Zong is always second in the grade. He changed his profession and became an S-level, holy assassin. The family background is good. The background is considered the toughest in Zonghai City. S-level certified guild, Golden Rose. I have to say that Shu Yue is indeed a good girl, in a sense. Only, this childhood sweetheart is inexplicably a bit strange at times. Not that it's that bad. Rather, in Yizan's impression, Shu Yue was a bit too nice to him. It's like posting backwards. Very baffling. However, Yizan didn't pay much attention. After all, he is indeed handsome. Handsome. Exploded. It's hard for a girl not to be tempted. Not to mention childhood sweethearts. Brother Yizan. Before long, Yizan heard a pleasant, Shaoluo sound, in his ears. Then, what came into view was a beautiful girl wearing a knitted sweater, a small shawl, and a pair of black velvet slippers. Hiss. Yizan just glanced at it and couldn't help but gasp slightly. A little distracted. Hydrating skin. Big waves. Cold white skin. Beautiful round and slender legs. White and tender little feet. Not to mention good looking. The figure is also quite graceful. The most important thing is that kind of temperament. Nobility. Exquisite. With a touch of pure desire. In Yizan's impression, Shu Yue and Lu Qing seem to be the school beauties of Zonghai No. 1 Middle School. In Yizan's view, Shu Yue's appearance and figure are slightly more advantageous than Lu Qing's. Especially the looming pure lust temperament. No matter what she wears, Shu Yue looks noble and refined. Inexplicably, it also has a bit of playfulness. Beautiful and charming. I actually left such a childhood sweetheart alone to play with that little girl Lu Qing. It's really. Yizan narrowed his eyes slightly and couldn't help but sigh secretly in his heart. Can only say, my previous self has not recovered the memory of my previous life. Rather ignorant. Too immature. I don't know what supreme grade is. A beautiful sister like Shu Yue. Only then can we have happiness in various forms. Brother Yizan, I'm sorry, there's a little traffic jam. Shu Yue opened her beautiful eyes and looked at Yizan. Then, he sat directly opposite Yizan. He picked up the iced American style in front of him and took a sip. Fine. Yizan raised his brows and smiled gently. I just arrived too. You sent me so many messages on WeChat, what's the matter? Yizan asked calmly. According to his experience, Shu Yue looked for him. Maybe it's not serious business. Mostly interesting in myself. I really don't blame Yizan for thinking so. But, they are childhood sweethearts, and they act so backward. It would be a mistake not to think about it in this regard. At the same time, Shu Yue was stunned. My heart is about to beat out. Hiss. What to say? Stay calm. Think clearly before speaking. Don't expose your true thoughts. The person sitting in front of me is Demon Tyrant. He must not be allowed to doubt. Hug your thighs. Hold your thighs tight. Come on, Shu Yue. You can. Thinking of this, Shu Yue took a deep breath and pretended to be very natural. You said before that you changed jobs and brought me up. We agreed to write the book together. As a result, you didn't reply to my messages. Shu Yue was indeed a little aggrieved. This is not pretending. But it's true. Yi Zan did agree. Ahem. Yi Zan was slightly stunned. He coughed a little embarrassedly. He thought about it and realized that there was indeed such a thing. Only. He just recovered the memory of his previous life the day before yesterday. So, I forgot about my promise to Shu Yue. Excuse me. Yi Zan smiled. I was so busy that I forgot about it. What are you busy with? You forgot about me. Shu Yue snorted and took another sip of iced Americano. It's nothing. That's right, I just killed a tyrant boss the day before yesterday. Then, it happened a second time. Yi Zan touched his nose. Tell it truthfully. He had no intention of hiding anything from Shu Yue. Not that he believed in Shu Yue. Rather, Yi Zan never thought about hiding it. There's nothing to hide. In Zonghai City, no one can threaten him now. The tyrant boss did kill himself. Just say it. What are you doing hiding it? Not to mention, Yi Zan is also planning to sell a lot of monster materials dropped by the tyrant boss to Shu Yue. There was a pop. Under Yi Zan's gaze. Shu Yue just took a sip of iced Americano and immediately squirted out. I was immediately stunned by the wave of shock. Coughed several times like crazy. What the hell? Yi Shen, no, brother Yi Zan, what did you say? Shu Yue was stunned. I was completely stunned. Tyrant boss. LV. Level 100 tyrant boss. It was actually Yi Shen who ended it. That is to say. Now, the apex level genius from another province who is popular all over the internet. Just sit in front of yourself. Possessing forbidden spells. A guaranteed SSR level profession. Killed the cold school Bell Lu Qing. Released tens of millions of damage. The professional who does it all. It turned out to be Yi Zan. Shu Yue was really confused. Messy. The brain cells are all burned out. Something is wrong. It's just so wrong. Originally, Yi Shen had already deviated from the trajectory of the life script. And now, if Yi Zan is the tyrant, that would be a bit too scary. Tens of millions of injuries. Forbidden curse. SSR level profession. How on earth is this done? Yi Shen turned dark in advance. Shu Yue's heart trembled crazily for several times. He looked at Yi Zan with an extremely complicated look. Wrong. Seemingly. Yi Shen was normal at this time. There are no signs of blackening. That is. Developed ahead of schedule. Shu Yu frowned slightly. Almost collapsed. Development is okay. You have developed so much in advance. I just changed jobs one day ago. You will end the 100 level tyrant boss. Learned the forbidden spell. With tens of millions of damage results. How is it possible? Stop saying you are a demon tyrant. Even if you are a god, you are still a bit outrageous. Certainly. What frightens Shu Yue the most is. Yi Zan told her what to do. Hiss. Thinking of this, Shu Yue's head hurt. My heart suddenly twitched several times. Subconsciously, I couldn't help but lean back. Damn it. Won't. He must be silenced. The life script makes it very clear that Yi Zan is suspicious by nature and is not a good person. Everything goes dark. That's a total great demon gimmick. In the world of universal job transfer, the only ultimate boss. No. Shu Yue was almost scared to tears. His pupils suddenly condensed. Beiki bit her lip tightly. Almost desperate. If that's the case. Then I'm afraid she may die today. Yi Shen, spare your life. You know, I have been your follower since I was a child. I have no bad intentions. Spare me, I know how to wash, cook and do anything. Shu Yue muttered to Yi Zan with a cry and a grieved expression. Eyes. Even more so with a little pleading. And at this time, Yi Zan was confused. Shu Yue's operation immediately confused Yi Zan. But, Yi Zan was stunned. Soon, his normal expression returned. Right. After all, Yi Zan was in the dungeon at the time, and he directly killed Lu Qing after a disagreement. Not only Lu Qing, but also the professionals who were too close to him all experienced exploding amounts under the aftermath of the destroying pyroblast technique. Too cruel. It is for this reason that Yizan got the title of tyrant. Don't worry, brother Yizan, you don't have such a murderous intention. Only, I happened to meet Lu Qing. Speaking of which, Yizan swallowed his words. He didn't say the words, Shao Keikai. Then, he narrowed his eyes slightly and smiled at Shu Yu with a gentle expression. Don't be so nervous, it makes me seem like a tyrant boss. Shu Yue was stunned. Really? Zundu is fake. I, Shu Yue, have a bad mind. Don't lie to me. Woohoo. Shu Yue looked at Yizan seriously. After discovering that Yizan is still the childhood sweetheart brother who is harmless to humans and animals, Shu Yue breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly patted himself. That's good. That's good. Don't really silence Shu Yue for me. Otherwise, I cried to death. Something's wrong. There's something wrong with you. Yizan frowned slightly, stared into Shu Yue's eyes, and said something inexplicably. Hiss. For a moment, Shu Yue almost suffocated. My heart almost stopped. Damn it. Won't. Has it been discovered? Yizan wouldn't have discovered that she had a life script. Shu Yue felt panicked and a little scared. What to say? Judging from the character introductions in life script, Yizan was very suspicious. And he hates being deceived by others. Let Yizan know that Shu Yue knew the plot from the beginning. In order to hold his thigh tightly, he did not hesitate to cheat Yizan, just to have a relationship with a childhood sweetheart. So, Yi Xuanwei became angry on the spot. Then, there is no more. Shu Yue directly lost everything. It is estimated that they will not be able to make it to the finale, which is the fourth natural disaster. Shu Yue's delicate body couldn't help but tremble. He clenched his back molars. My heart was already in my throat. Hurry up, Shu Yue. Use your clever little brain. Think of a way. Don't wait to die. Shu Yue was about to cry. How could she come up with any good solution in this situation? In the end, he only showed a dumbfounded expression like a silly roe deer, and he was about to cry without tears. Destroy it. Never mind. Stop trying to figure it out. Come. Demonic tyrant. Brother Yizan. Yi Shen. Kill me. Give me a good time. Just please, be gentle. At the thought of this, Shu Yue closed her eyes tightly and even her body tensed up. The little hands were slightly clenched. Heart sound. Dong dong dong. Have you reached LV? Level 25. Yizan spoke again and asked curiously. Ah. Shu Yue's whole body trembled, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. Wait for half a day. Is that all you're talking about? Grandmas. Shu Yue gasped for breath, almost scared to death. Result. Not found. I hold 10,000 words in my heart. Right. After being silent for a while, Shu Yue tried her best to restrain her inner emotions, smiled gently at Yizan and said. Yes, my dad took me to complete a dungeon, and I almost reached level 30. Think about it. Shu Yue added. Just got promoted yesterday. Compared with brother Yizan, you are nothing. Shu Yue skillfully slapped a rainbow fart. And at this time, Yizan raised his eyebrows. My heart couldn't help but tighten. Good guy. It's good to have a background. Yizan calmly took a sip of iced American style and sighed in a voice that only he could hear. He worked hard to reach level 40. And here is my childhood sweetheart. Against the background. It was so easy to move up the rank. It's good to have a boss to guide you. Get points quickly. The copy of Dragon Valley must be taken care of by Zhang Tian and Su Mei. Yizan murmured secretly in his heart. Although, if we look at his strength now, he has already faintly surpassed Zhang Tian, the president of the Magic Association. As for Su Mei, as a supporting profession, he is not qualified to compare with Yizan. But, can be assisted by high-level professionals. Why do it yourself? When the time comes, I will go to the dungeon and enjoy the joy of smashing it myself. Be a salty fish. It's quite comfortable sometimes. Thinking of this, Yizan couldn't help but feel balanced in his heart and smiled. Correct. Yue, does your guild recycle boss materials? Yizan asked thoughtfully. Receive. At this time, Shu Yue was still immersed in the panic just now and had not yet come out. He responded subconsciously. Etc. Brother Yizan, the boss material you are talking about cannot be the tyrant boss. Shu Yue's eyes lit up and he swallowed. Leave everything behind. The tyrant boss is indeed very powerful. That is one of the top 10 most popular bosses in Zonghai City. All materials dropped by tyrant or supreme grade alchemy materials. Which guild wouldn't want it? Changing hands is a hugely profitable thing. Right. Yizan nodded. Then, click on your career template. Open the Items tab. Everything is shown. The heart of a tyrant. Demon bone. Undead demonic eyes. Tyrant blood. All are made of supreme grade material. Can be used to make 1 or 2 pieces of yellow gold level equipment. Hiss. Shu Yue's face turned pale. Shocked. Good guy. So much. As expected of Yi Shen. There were so many things that many guilds in Zonghai City couldn't take, but Yizan actually took them all. Can only say. He is worthy of being the ultimate boss in the life script. Demonic tyrant. Yue, please give me a price for these things. If the price is right, I will recycle them directly for you. Yizan shrugged and said with a comfortable expression. Shu Yue's eyes lit up. Some surprises. What a great opportunity. In this case, if the boss materials are recycled at a high price, Brother Yizan will definitely be happy. By the time, the character relationship entry can definitely be directly promoted from childhood sweetheart to love is stronger than gold. So cool. Shu Yue. You are so smart. 1 billion. Shu Yue raised her little hand with excitement and directly offered a high price that was difficult for Yizan to refuse. There was a pop. This time, it was Yizan's turn to be choked. I almost spit out the iced Americano I just drank. Are you serious? Yizan didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and took a deep look at Shu Yue. 1 billion. It's really like Chinese cabbage. Give it as you say. All the materials on the tyrant boss are worth at most 5 to 6 billion. This is all recycled at a high price. After all, how much does a supreme grade gold weapon cost? That's about 1 or 200 million. But now, Shu Yue said it was 1 billion. I can buy several golden weapons. Can only say. The eldest lady is tough when she speaks. And at this time, Shu Yue couldn't help but shake his head, a little panicked. Damn it. It's over. Suddenly my head was confused. It's okay to stick it upside down. It's okay to hug your thighs. It has to operate normally after all. I'll give you 1 billion as soon as you come. Everyone has to be suspicious. If it really arouses Yi Shen's suspicion. Wouldn't this be a waste of all previous efforts? Hiss. Shu Yue frowned slightly, his expression was a bit uncontrollable, and he was about to cry. It's all Yi Shen's fault. It scared her silly. I actually made such a simple mistake. Ahem. Shu Yue coughed twice. He immediately pretended to be embarrassed and said thoughtfully, that's it. That's right, I just contacted a senior alchemist from Hangzhou yesterday and planned to ask him to make me a set of armor exclusive to the assassin profession. Now, everything else is almost there, all that's missing is the tyrant's heart. Shu Yue blinked her beautiful eyes. He smiled harmlessly at Yizan. Then, he continued to speak. Certainly. The other materials for tyrant boss are also very good. I can just use it to enchant assassin weapons. Shu Yue looked at Yizan with an innocent look. He said weakly. Brother Yizan, I really need these boss materials. Hear this. Yizan was stunned for a moment. Understood. So that's it. No wonder it offers such an exaggeratedly high price. Shu Yue finally breathed a sigh of relief after seeing Yizan's expression. Life is alive. It all depends on acting. Shu Yue. You are awesome. The acting skills are online. Comparable to Beiying teaching materials. Fine. Yizan shrugged. He said with a relaxed expression, if you really need these things, just take them. The price doesn't have to be so realistic. Yizan couldn't laugh or cry. Just the market price. It's not the first day we've met. For Yizan, Shu Yue is a good sister herself. All you need are these tyrant boss materials to get a good set of assassin equipment. Why are you raising the price on the ground? Brother Yizan, you are so kind to me. Shu Yue twitched the corners of his mouth, wanting to cry a little, and said weakly. I want to cry. What she wanted to do. It is to benefit Yizan. Let Yizan remember her. And now, instead, he took advantage of Yizan. How can we carry out work like this? How do you hold your thighs? How can you please a big boss like this? Really? Headache. I don't understand the worldly ways at all. Brother Yizan, you are so good to me, I don't even know how to repay you. Shu Yue took a deep breath, was silent for a moment, and tried to make amends for himself. Anyway, you have to find an opportunity to please the boss. Only in this way can the character relationship entries be improved for a while. Easy to handle. Yizan didn't hide anything and said directly, help me get some skill columns, item columns, and equipment columns. Ah, Shu Yue was stunned. What do you want these things for? A second-level professional has enough skill columns. Many high-level professionals cannot use that many skill slots. After all, a skill book, if you want to practice it to the point of proficiency, it will take a long time. The price of the skill book itself is very expensive. Where are there so many professionals who have nothing to do but learn skills? How? Yi Shen is not enough. As for the equipment column, this made Shu Yue even more confused. Yi Shen now. Isn't it just the second turn? Have you collected enough full-body equipment? It's not such an exaggeration. How much? Shu Yue asked weakly. As much as possible, the more the better. Yizan said after thinking for a while. Indeed. Yizan has the SSS Level Specialty demonic blessing. Able to plunder boss templates like crazy. Right now there are already too many skills to put down. The same goes for equipment. Yizan can now ignore all professions and equip any profession's exclusive weapons. In order to make the basic attributes higher, he could definitely keep a few more weapons at hand. Thus, isn't the basic attack power immediately maxed out? Good. I've written it down, brother Yizan. I'll ask my dad when I get back. Shu Yue had a brainstorm. However, no matter how hard I try, I can't figure out why. In the end, she gave up, could only smile bitterly, and hurriedly agreed to Yizan's request. What to say? I can't figure it out anyway. Yi Shen is strong. Just hold your thighs tight. Yizan's matter. It's about her Shu Yue. Yizan's request. All requests are answered. For the rest, what are you thinking about? My brain is stupid to begin with. By the way, Yue, remember to ask for a leave from school for me. Yizan suddenly thought of the copy of Dragon Valley that Zhang Tian mentioned, and was going to ask Shu Yue to ask for leave for him. After all, a golden copy. It will take at least a week. Take a day off. Otherwise, credits will be deducted. Brother Yizan, the college entrance examination will be held soon, and the school itself is on holiday. It's only half a month. Shu Yue took a sip of coffee, looked at Yizan and said. That's it. That's just right. Yizan touched his nose and smiled slightly. Brother Yizan, you are now in the second rank. You should be the first batch of second rank in the school, right? According to the school's reward mechanism, you can receive a scholarship of 20,000 yuan. There are also some life potions distributed by schools. Shu Yue has completely let herself go. My head is empty. Just say whatever comes to mind. Is that so? Yizan was stunned. 20,000 yuan. The tyrant boss material he just sold to Shu Yue is already worth hundreds of millions. 20,000 yuan, it seems, is not even a fraction. But, something given for free. Why not? The school is not far anyway. Okay, do you want to go? Yizan yawned, stood up and prepared to leave. And at this moment, Shu Yue suddenly trembled all over. Damn it. Wrong. Lu Qing and Zhou Han seem to be at school. Isn't this a collision with the muzzle? Hiss. The corners of Shu Yue's mouth twitched, and he couldn't hold himself any longer. What's going on with me today? My brain is broken. Shu Yue, Shu Yue. You silly roe deer. Zonghai City Number 1 Middle School. Student run. Classmate Yizan, congratulations to you. You have reached the second rank so quickly. It's really good. This is your scholarship, please keep it. The Unified National College Entrance Examination will be held soon. I wish you excellent results in advance and strive to be admitted to a 985 university. In the office, a female teacher wearing gold-rimmed glasses put away a document. Then, with a gentle smile, he smiled at Yizan. Okay, thank you. Yizan responded politely. He put an envelope containing 20,000 yuan in banknotes into his arms. Let's go. Yi Zan looked at Xu Yue beside him. Oh, okay. Xu Yue nodded nervously. My heart was in my throat. Nervous. Even. It can be said that they are terrified. Don't let Yi Shen meet those two guys Lu Qing and Zhou Han, otherwise. Xu Yue took a deep breath and muttered quietly. She was too scared. Yi Zan found that the current situation was different from the normal process of the life script. If being angered by Lu Qing again, Yi Xuanjun may turn black in advance. After all, Xu Yue didn't know what Yi Zan's condition was. What if Yi Zan really transformed into the devil tyrant in the script? Xu Yue was afraid that he would be frightened to death on the spot. I can only pray that Lu Qing and Zhou Han can stagger the time and not appear in front of Yi Zan. What are you mumbling about? Yi Zan glanced at Xu Yue with a strange expression. His first impression of his childhood sweetheart was not bad. That is, it feels a little weird. It seems that something is on his mind. He always had a worried expression. Ah, it's okay. Xu Yue bit her lips tightly and showed a harmless smile to Yi Zan. Don't show up. Lu Qing and Zhou Han, you two must not show up. Disappear as far as you can. Don't get involved. If Yi Shen is really allowed to turn dark in advance, you all must die. Xu Yue thought to himself silently. It's almost like pleading. At this time, she was extremely nervous. However, the next moment, Xu Yue suddenly raised his head. Hiss. Damn it. Okay. Come whatever you want. Student run. Office door. Sure enough, there were two students in uniform standing there. Lu Qing. Zhou Han. Okay, it's almost time for today. I can only say this much about the situation of the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. We still have something to do, so let's not talk about it for now. Let's do the interview next time we have a chance. Office door. Zhou Han smiled slightly and pretended to talk to the reporters in front of him. The speaking skills are very high level. From the beginning to the end, Zhou Han never admitted that he was the professional who challenged the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. However, he didn't deny it either. Reporters interview him. He just makes peace with the mud. Anyway, it's just pretending. That's really what it said. Okay, Mr. Zhou, I won't disturb you anymore. As expected of the young master of the S-Level Certification Guild, Mr. Zhou is so graceful. Yes, as the first professional in Zonghai City to challenge the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower, it is so rare to be so humble. Young Master Zhou's girlfriend is also very beautiful. She's so right. Classmate Lu Qing, she is the popular school belle of Zonghai number 1 middle school, a cool goddess, and her professional qualifications are also very good. A perfect couple. After interviewing Zhou Han, the reporters at the door laughed and started taking pictures of the rainbow farts. The tone is very flattering. Zhou Han's eyes lit up slightly. Pretending to be even more human-like. He even raised his chin and straightened his back. Nothing else could impress Zhou Han. He said Lu Qing was his girlfriend. Zhou Han couldn't be happier. I feel so happy. It seems. This wave of pretending to be an identity is simply a full-level operation. The only thing I'm worried about is that real boss who challenges the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower, don't jump out and expose him. Otherwise, Zhou Han probably died on the spot. Certainly. Even if it was exposed. Not much of a problem. Anyway, I didn't really admit it. Just like mud. Thinking of this, Zhou Han narrowed his eyes slightly and almost smiled from ear to ear. Excuse me. I'm not his girlfriend. At the same time, Lu Qing said coldly to the reporters. For a while, the atmosphere at the scene was slightly awkward. It seems that he sensed something was wrong, or he was unwilling to give up on Zhou Han as a big fish so early. Lu Qing frowned. Then, he smiled politely. He looked at the reporters again and added. They are very good friends. Oh. The reporters all looked bright. So that's it. Got it. Good friends. Lip friendship. Zhou Han's frozen expression became lively again, and he narrowed his eyes and smiled. Faces gained. That's great. Lu Qing, on the other hand, turned around and walked towards the student office. On business. Lu Qing looked back at Zhou Han. Good. Zhou Han hurriedly ran over. Both Lu Qing and Lu Qing have reached their second rank. So, they come to the student affairs office, just like Yi Zan, to receive scholarships. Johan might not care much about the 20,000 yuan. But Lu Qing was different. A fake socialite. 20,000 yuan can buy a lot of things. However, right now, Lu Qing's footsteps suddenly stopped. Stunned. Immediately, she frowned slightly, looked forward, and said in an extremely cold tone. Yi Zan, what are you doing here? You know I'm coming to the student office. So, waiting for me here on purpose. Lu Qing was stunned for a moment. He raised his eyebrows instead. Mei smiled. Yi Zan, you'd better give up this idea. The two of us are no longer in the same world. Speaking of which, the corners of Lu Qing's plump mouth curled up slightly. He looked at Yi Zan with a slightly contemptuous look. We have this time. You might as well think about it. How to improve your rank. You can't just be a trainee mage for the rest of your life. Having said this, Lu Qing raised her head. Like a noble swan, he walked towards the corner of the office. I am going to apply for a scholarship from a female teacher. Actually, Lu Qing has no dissatisfaction with Yi Zan. Yi Zan is handsome. If you just play it, it's great. Only. Now Lu Qing only wants to hook up with the tyrant, young master from the imperial capital. She wants to be a real lady in the imperial capital. Little milk. Milk. Not to mention, Yi Zan is just an E-level trainee mage. It has no use value anymore. Lu Qing didn't even want to fish anymore. One more pua, Yi Zan, would do her no good. It will just make you feel annoyed. Therefore, she must give up Yi Zan's thoughts as soon as possible and keep a distance from him. And at this time, Yi Zan was slightly stunned. Senseless. Subsequently, with a pop, Yi Zan couldn't help laughing. This was the second time he saw Lu Qing after recovering his memory. First meeting. As a tyrant. Met twice. Lu Qing has two faces. Yo. Small framed. Really good at pretending. Yi Zan felt funny in his heart. Lu Qing can really pretend. Last time in the dungeon, Lu Qing was burned to ashes. I wish I could do that on the spot. And now, faced with the identity of E-level trainee mage, Lu Qing was extremely aloof. All I can say is that Lao Nu is indeed thick-skinned. Cold on the outside and hot on the inside. Also treat them differently. It's true that we are not from the same world. SR level trainee Dharma Saint. SSS level Supreme Expertise Demon Blessing. Tyrant Boss Template. And you, little one, are just an S-level mage. Yi Zan narrowed his eyes slightly. I murmured secretly in my heart. He stared at Lu Qing's back. Beautiful figure. The flesh and bones are well proportioned. Black stockings. Cool high heels. Take every step. They all wanted to twist their waists into an S shape. The appearance is really good. Only a little dirty inside. If Lu Qing knew that the tyrant she flattered so much that she almost choked her with tears was standing in front of her, would she be dumbfounded on the spot? Yi Zan had some bad taste inexplicably. If Yi Zan's identity was really exposed. Lu Qing is a prostitute. What kind of expression would it be? Will it collapse? Or change your attitude all of a sudden? Classmate Yi Zan, you are very free. At the same time, Johan said to Yi Zan with a cold tone. If Lu Qing has no dissatisfaction with Yi Zan. At most, she is just too lazy to pay attention to her. In order to maintain her goddess status. Act cool. So, Johan really didn't care about Yi Xuanqi. It's Yi Zan. Stealing Lu Qing's first time. First love. Even though the two didn't do anything. But, with Johan, a hypocrite, he is so cautious. How can it be tolerated? So, Johan sneered immediately, looked at Yi Zan with some ill intentions and said. Yi Zan, as the leader of the student union, I have to remind you that the National College entrance examination is only a few months away. As a student of Zonghai number 1 middle school, you must focus on your studies instead of doing these nonsense all day long. Something about Ba now. Don't let one person drag down the entire school's enrollment rate. Classmate Lu Qing and I are already in the second rank now. Even. You just saw it too. So many reporters. Things about the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. You also saw it on the local news homepage, right? I will not say much. You talk too much and hurt the feelings between classmates. You, think about it yourself. After all, Johan was also the young master of the Bitter Winter Guild. Speaking very technically. It's official. A few words. Then he pulled Yi Zan and stepped on him. He definitely wouldn't break up with Yi Zan, he just made some insinuations. After all, Yi Zan is Lu Qing's ex-boyfriend. Broken face. It is of no benefit to Johan. If there were more rumors. Johan didn't know how he would be spoken to. The best way is pull and step. Secret rivalry. So, it can make Yi Zan retreat when he realizes the difficulty. And Johan can also maintain his dignity. Put on a show in front of Lu Qing. At this time, seeing Johan's reaction, Yi Zan narrowed his eyes slightly and wanted to laugh even more. Yo. Installed. I thought. Johan, the paladin, is a simple cannon fodder villain. Unexpectedly, people still have some brains. High-end bureau. In the novel of the previous life, the villain is always startled. In reality, that happens too rarely. Young people with backgrounds have very active minds. Under normal circumstances, I will not conflict with you head-on. The older generation is holding something in their hands. Who would be so crazy? Speaking and keeping silent is the quintessence of the Chinese nation. If things really get serious, the old generation's fault was revealed. No one ends well. After all, the internet is so developed now. Moreover, people just live to save face. In Johan's opinion, Yi Zan is just a little shrimp. He and Yi Zan were shocked and torn apart. Very disgraceful. After a moment of silence, Yi Zan looked at Johan. Prepare to give Johan a wave of full-level operations. Johan is in a good rank. Pity. Still too tender. Yi Zan knew very well that a few words from him would definitely make Johan unable to get off the stage and make him so angry that he would vomit blood. Even at this time, Yi Zan did not have much emotional fluctuations. Johan assumed his identity. Lu Qing pretended. Yi Zan was slightly unhappy. Why not fight back? Don't even say a few words. With Yi Zan's current strength, even destroying the S-level Winter Guild would be a piece of cake. However, just when Yi Zan was about to speak, beside him, Xu Yue immediately pointed at Johan and cursed. Johan, what are you barking at? Damn it. Yi Zan was stunned. Good guy. My childhood sweetheart is a bit interesting. Speaking as the quintessence of the country. Johan, what are you barking at? You also know that the National College entrance examination is just a few months away, so what are you doing? Being a pug. To please your mistress. Student union. What the hell? Does the school's admission rate have anything to do with you? I'm from the school board, did I speak? Can you shut your stinky mouth? Second turn. Yo 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 yo. As expected of the young master of the S-level certified guild, he was able to reach the second rank thanks to the guidance of high-level professionals. I didn't know, I thought you were already in the 9th rank. Hurt your classmates' feelings. What relationship do I have with you? Xu Yue was really mad. Exploded. What to say? In itself, she was so frightened by Yi Zan's operations that her heart almost jumped out of her chest. Sincerely terrified. Fearful. I was afraid that Yi Zan would turn black by accident. That is the demon tyrant. The kind that can destroy the whole world at every turn. And now. But Johan just wanted to jump around in the minefield. Xu Yue worked hard and worked hard. Johan is fine. You have to look for trouble. Isn't this seeking death? At this time, Xu Yue could no longer care about so much and just wanted to let out a bad breath. Scold Johan to death. And at this moment, seeing Xu Yue's reaction, Johan was completely stunned. It's not just him. Lu Qing also frowned slightly and turned her head sharply. I was stunned for a moment. Xu Yue, be careful what you say. Don't hurt the harmony between the two guilds then. Johan looked cold. His face was quite ugly. Expression management is almost out of control. He took a deep breath and controlled the anger in his heart. He glared at Xu Yue fiercely. Amicable. Xu Yue bit her red lips tightly. He spoke angrily back again. What's wrong? You want to declare war on our Golden Rose Guild? Yo yo yo. Come. I'm afraid of you. I'm going to call my dad right now. What are you putting here? Threaten me. Xu Yue took 2 steps forward. Beautiful eyes stared at Johan. Wen Truchi exploded. But at this moment, Johan's pupils narrowed suddenly and he couldn't help but take half a step back subconsciously. Don't look at the fact that Winter Guild and Golden Rose are both S level. However, financial resources. Golden Rose is so much stronger. Otherwise, Shu Yue would not be a member of the school board of directors of Zonghai No. 1 Middle School. Moreover, it is the largest school board. No. One middle school is basically the private property of Shu Yue's family. Secondly, all professionals in Zonghai City knew very well that the Golden Rose Guild doted on Shu Yue too much. But Shu Yue opened his mouth. Her father can basically agree to all her requests. As for Johan, just the young master of the Bitter Winter Guild. Above him, there are two brothers. It's not like he has the final say in the guild. Okay, young lady and young gentleman. Everyone calm down. At this time, in the office, all the teachers stood up. The female teacher who just handled the scholarship procedures for Yizan took a deep breath, looked at Johan and others with a complicated expression and said, "You are all the top students in No. 1 Middle School. Let's not argue anymore. Little things, little things. Classmate Yizan is also very good. The email from the job transfer temple. Yizan is the first professional in our school to complete the second transfer." The female teacher wearing gold-rimmed glasses swallowed and forced a gentle smile. Hurrying to smooth things over. Several students present. She couldn't even afford to offend. Each background is stronger than the last. Johan and Shu Yue stopped talking. The recognized eldest lady and apex-level eldest son in Zonghai City. As for Lu Qing, S-level Holy Light Mage. Admitted to Qingbei University under special circumstances. It's basically a done deal. Yizan. Also very strong. Although, the information shows only E-level trainee mage. But he is the first student in the school to complete the second transfer. Just keep growing up. It will definitely increase professional intensity in the future. Maybe his development will not be worse than that of a talented student like Lu Qing. What else can you do if you don't smooth things over? Just trying to show off. I'm afraid, I don't even know how I died. Later. They are all big shots. I heard the female teacher's polite words to smooth things over. Johan and Lu Qing were slightly stunned. Senseless. Yizan actually turned two. Or the first and second turn. Johan frowned. I had a bad feeling in my heart. It's impossible, Yizan must be the professional who challenged the supreme trial of SSS level. Won't. Absolutely impossible. Look no further, in the video leaked on the Douyin app, the boss who challenged the SSS level supreme trial was wearing the uniform of No. 1 Middle School. But, all have been analyzed by senior bloggers. That big guy can't be a high school student. How can any high school student be so perverted? It's to deceive others. So, wearing a high school uniform casually. It is precisely because of this that Johan dares to pretend to be a great god so blatantly. Anyway, he was the only professional from Zonghai No. 1 Middle School who had the qualifications to challenge the SSS level trial. What's more, Johan didn't say anything to death. At most, he neither admits nor denies it. The focus now is. Yizan also had his second turn. How could an E-level trainee mage be promoted to level 30 in just 2 days without a boss to guide him? Johan was really confused. Feeling slightly headache. Then, he glanced at Shu Yue, and somehow understood. Possible. It was Yizan, his childhood sweetheart, who was secretly helping. With Shu Yue's background, it is not difficult to lead a trainee mage. Johan, let's go. The atmosphere of the scene. Quite cold. It's almost freezing. At this moment, Lu Qing looked at Johan with an unnatural expression, still maintaining the demeanor of an iceberg goddess, and said, "It's dinner time, let's go eat." Johan was stunned. His expression softened. "Okay, let's go. Don't argue with them." Johan took a deep breath, holding back an extremely ugly expression, followed Lu Qing, and hurriedly left the office. This situation. What kind of scholarship do you need? Shu Yue is a member of the school board. Get a scholarship. It's so unseemly. It was like asking for Shu Yue's charity. So, just leave. Of course, Lu Qing didn't want to make things too big. What to say? She is a prostitute. She is a gold worshipper. Will Pua. But that doesn't mean you are brainless. If it was really because of Lu Qing that the two S-level guilds started fighting. Lu Qing was afraid that she didn't even know how she died. Johan's father is not a good person. Lu Qing has to be more cautious. Brother Yizan, I'm not usually like this. It's just that I got angry just now. That Johan. He is so disgusting. After Johan and Lu Qing left, Shu Yue also reacted immediately. Hiss. Looks like myself. Emotions are out of control. He actually got angry in front of the devil tyrant. It's over. The image of working hard for so many years. It was actually ruined. Shu Yue felt depressed for a while, and immediately turned his head and looked at Yizan with tears in his eyes. I want to explain it forcefully. It can be said that Shu Yue took great pains in order to upgrade the character relationship entry to childhood sweetheart. And now, yet he behaved so without quality. Swearing loudly in front of Yizan. This made Shu Yue feel quite uncomfortable. Afraid of an accident. The relationship between Yizan and her was directly downgraded. Ha ha ha, it's okay. It's fierce, but also very cute. At this time, Yizan slightly closed his eyes, smiled gently, and looked at Shu Yue. Although Shu Yue's operation just now, it really damages the image of the goddess. But Yizan didn't pay too much attention. Quite cute. Everyone has a temper, let alone Shu Yue, the eldest lady. It was impossible for Yizan to deny Shu Yue just because of one or two words. Besides, their starting point was for Yizan. I want to help Yizan relieve his anger. Is it true, brother Yizan? Shu Yue breathed a sigh of relief, with a little joy shining in his eyes. As long as it doesn't affect Yizan's view of himself, it'll be fine. Others. None of it matters. Even if it really triggers a guild war. For Shu Yue, it was just a small matter. After all, compared with the undead disaster sweeping the world, an S-level certified guild is nothing. Real. Yizan narrowed his eyes and said with a smile. Then, he couldn't help but touched Shu Yue's head. I'm not angry at all. Yizan told the truth. He really wasn't angry. Johan is also good. So is Lu Qing. In front of Yizan, they were all immature brats. How could he, who had lived in 2 lifetimes, break down emotionally just because of 1 or 2 words from Johan? Not to mention, Shu Yue's, breaking the situation, directly broke his face and angrily attacked Johan. In a sense, it also relieved Yizan. No face. It's Johan. Speaking of this, Yizan frowned slightly. I had some bad taste in my heart for no reason. Not angry is the truth. Johan pretended to be Yizan, pretending to be cool, trying to pull him down. Lu Qing is a prostitute. Cold on the outside and hot on the inside. Want to take advantage of him. These two people. It's a bit annoying. It's even a little disgusting. Yizan couldn't just let them go. Holy Light Mage profession, S-level. Paladin profession, S-level. Winter Guild. Yizan murmured secretly in his heart. Compared to emotions, benefits are more important. He already had the idea of destroying the Winter Guild. More precisely, it's the idea of harvesting leeks. Johan and Lu Qing both have good careers. If you wait for them to change jobs once, or twice, perhaps, they are no longer S-level career templates. It's the SR class. Even SS level. At that time, Johan and Lu Qing will be. Yizan's benefits will be much greater. Chinese chives. Harvest when ripe. Certainly. Except for profit. Another point. That is, you can wait a little longer. Let Lu Qing and Johan be more splendid. Finally. Crush them to death. Yizan can now switch to the Tyrant Boss template and directly bulldoze the entire Winter Guild. Relieve your breath. But, this is not cruel enough. Even more ruthless. Give Johan and Lu Qing hope, and let them shine brightly. Then, destroyed at once. Just imagine. When Johan and Lu Qing had been promoted to SR level, or even SS level profession. The rank has also gone up. Lu Qing already felt that she was about to hook up with the Apex level young master who came to the imperial capital, and was about to be with the tyrant. I can become the young nanny of the imperial capital. Become a real socialite. At this time, Yizan tore their future into pieces. Let Lu Qing know that she has been flattering, and she can't wait to crawl onto the sheets. It turned out to be Yi Zan. And the big shot Johan pretended to be. The master who challenged the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower, was also Yi Zan. I am afraid. With the psychological endurance of these two people, it will probably collapse on the spot. I have the heart to want to die. This is the real thing. Play. Ali. People's hearts. And this little trick is to say a few words in person. It's really innocuous. Too light. It doesn't make much sense. Emotion is a means. High level. It's the human heart. Yi Zan touched Shu Yue's head and said thoughtfully. Ah. Shu Yue was stunned. He was stunned for a moment. What's the meaning? Shu Yue showed an expression like a silly roe deer and opened the corners of his mouth slightly. She felt something was wrong for no reason. Yi Zan's words. It gave her an indescribable feeling. Fine. Yi Zan was in a daze for a moment and smiled. These things he only realized after struggling for so long in his previous life. I just didn't pay attention and said it casually. It's all about humanity. Oh, okay, brother Yi Zan. Shu Yue squeezed her little hand, her mind went blank. They are all a little confused. Why do you think so much? Just be happy. As long as Yi Zan has no objection to her, he can maintain the childhood sweetheart relationship. Then, Yi Shen did not turn black in advance. When the fourth disaster comes, I can hug the boss tightly and survive. That's good. Shu Yue. You are such a clever guy. Thinking of this, Shu Yue narrowed his eyes and felt much better. As long as Yi Zan is fine, it will be fine. She was scared to death just now. Fortunately it was just a false alarm. At the same time, after leaving school, Johan was so aggrieved that he was almost going crazy. Yi Zan. Shu Yue. Okay, very good. Johan was going crazy. My breathing was quickened. My heart trembled crazily for several times, and I was already very angry. Original. He planned to show off in front of Lu Qing. Relying on the methods learned from his father, he severely humiliated Yi Zan. Let Yi Zan retreat after knowing the difficulty. However, Johan didn't expect that Shu Yue didn't play according to the routine at all. I immediately broke up with myself. What can Johan do? He was also helpless. On the art of talking. He may not be as strong as Shu Yue. Let's take a step back. Even if you really break up with Shu Yue, no matter what the result is, he loses even if he fights with a woman. As for head-on confrontation, what would he touch with it? If a guild war really started because of a trivial matter, Johan was sure that he would be beaten to death by his father. Shu Yue, don't be proud, I definitely can't just let it go. Yi Zan, I will kill you sooner or later. Zhou Hanqi gritted his teeth, and his eyes couldn't help but turn red. However, at this time, he could only mutter a few words behind his back. They didn't dare to get angry in front of Shu Yue. Think of this. Johan felt even more aggrieved. If Lu Qing hadn't been there, he would have felt like he was about to spit out blood. Fine. Don't argue with them. Shu Yue is only good at talking. Without the background behind you, you are nothing. And that Yi Zan. Snort. Even if I reach level 30 and level 2, what will happen? You're just a trainee mage, how can you compete with them? Seeing Johan's silence, Lu Qing's face turned pale with anger. She raised her eyebrows slightly and spoke to comfort him. For Lu Qing, Johan is indeed just a fish in the fish pond. Little pout. She has not yet gotten close to the tyrant, young master in the imperial capital. For now, we still need to rely on Johan. To put it mildly, Johan still has value. Lu Qing couldn't just give up. Therefore, it is normal to say a few words of comfort. Right. Lu Qing, you are still considerate. You're so right. Hear the goddess concern. Johan felt as if he had been injected with chicken blood. His whole body trembled twice, and his expression suddenly became lively. What made him feel uncomfortable was that he lost face in front of Lu Qing. But now, wasn't Lu Qing comforting him? That'll be fine. My mood has improved. Lu Qing, don't worry. I know what happened between you and Yi Zan. He has failed you, there is no way he can just let it go. After a while, I will find 2 newly hired high-level professionals from the guild. Then I will give Yi Zan a good beating. It will definitely relieve your anger. As for that Shu Yue, there will be plenty of time in the future. Johan muttered to himself. He flattered Lu Qing with a flattering expression. And at this time, Lu Qing narrowed her eyes slightly, and her beautiful brows couldn't help but wrinkle. Let me relieve my anger. Just you. A hint of contempt flashed under Lu Qing's eyes. However, it soon returned to normal. In Lu Qing's heart, Johan's performance today was like a waste. Now, you still have the nerve to lick your face and say to relieve her anger. Snort. Laughing to death. Let's talk about it later. Lu Qing glanced at Johan and smiled unnaturally. I have something else to do, so I won't have dinner with you today. Let's make an appointment next time. Ah. Johan was stunned for a moment. What happened? Wasn't it fine just now? Why did his attitude suddenly change again? Okay, then I'll send you off. Johan mentioned something. No. Lu Qing said in a cold tone. Then, he turned around and left directly. Johan was left alone in a daze. Lu Qing. Johan was silent for a moment, staring closely at Lu Qing's back. Black stockings. Cool high heels. Graceful figure. Skin as white as milk. Burn. Very burning. Johan's eyes were almost on fire. My heart was extremely hot. It's all those two bitches Yi Zan and Shu Yue. Johan took a big breath and tried his best to calm down the crazy emotions in his heart. As he expected. If it weren't for Yi Zan and Shu Yue, Lu Qing had already crawled to his feet. At this time, Johan's inner anger towards Yi Zan was almost boiling. We must find a way. Otherwise, I won't be able to swallow this breath. I can't afford to offend Shu Yue now. That's Yi Zan, can't I kill him? Johan bullies the weak and fears the strong. He was worried about Shu Yue's background. But he is not worried about Yi Zan at all. So, he was going to pinch the soft persimmon first. Johan knew the relationship between Yi Zan and Shu Yue very well. But, what if Shu Yue wasn't there? Then Yi Zan, didn't he just let him control it? Just take advantage of the opportunity. He will definitely be able to revive his manly glory in front of Lu Qing. Put on a big show. Thinking of this, Johan couldn't help but laugh loudly. It was as if he had already seen the scene of Lu Qing flattering him, and the corners of his smiling mouth could hardly be closed. The next day. Early in the morning. Rental house. Just as Yi Zan finished washing, the doorbell rang. Come so early. Yi Zan was stunned for a moment, wiped his face with cold water, and was about to open the door. Standing outside the door should be Zhang Tian, the president of the Magic Association, and Su Mei, who transferred to the temple. Because Yi Zan has already made an appointment with them. Today we went to the Gold Copy, Dragon Valley. Zhang Tian and Su Mei, the two highest status figures in Zonghai City, were here to pick up Yi Zan. Come and pick up Yi Zan. It's all just polite. To put it mildly. This is a door-to-door visit. Flatter Yi Zan. President Zhang, do we really need to do this? The place where Yi Zan lives does not look like the young master of an SSR level guild. Outside the rental house, Su Mei frowned slightly. His eyes scanned the apartment. He muttered a few words with a very puzzled expression. Ahem. After hearing Su Mei's words, Zhang Tian hurriedly coughed twice. He said with a slightly solemn tone. Palace Master Su, you can say some things in front of me, but please don't say them to classmate Yi Zan. You are still too young. There are some things that you cannot grasp. It's impossible to take everything at face value. Old man, I have made it very clear. Judging from student Yi's current situation, his background is probably an SSR level guild. The way the Grand Guild raises its descendants is not something we little people can understand. It's almost normal to live there. Isn't it all about training your mind? Otherwise, if all the young masters are ruined, then the guild will stop working. You can't be rich for more than 3 generations. Speaking of which, Zhang Tian took a deep breath. He spoke earnestly again. Not to mention, even if the background behind Mr. Yi is not that strong. But my qualifications are here. SR level trainee Dharma Saint. In the future, he can be selected for the national team, and he will be on the same level as the 9th turn Dharma God. You and I are just small characters in a small place like Zonghai City. As long as we build a good relationship with classmate Yi, In the future, we can all go to Zhongyan province. From city to province. There are many things here, you should think about it carefully. After listening to Zhang Tian's teachings, Su Mei showed an expression like a silly roe deer and nodded thoughtfully. The words have been made very clear. Yi Zan is very strong. Now, Zhang Tian was taking Su Mei on the road. Although it sounded a little dizzy. After all, Su Mei was also a graduate student, so she could understand a little bit of what Zhang Tian meant. Anyway, now I just want to please Yi Zan. Flatter well. Do a good job in human relations and sophistication. President Zhang. Master Su. You came quite early. Just when Su Mei was stunned, Yi Zan suddenly opened the door. Su Mei raised her head. Her delicate body trembled slightly. At this time, Yi Zan was only wearing a pure white short-sleeved shirt and a pair of shorts, and his tall and straight figure was clearly visible. Coupled with Yi Zan's already handsome face. Sunny and handsome. Su Mei was suddenly stunned. After all these years of studying, she has never been in love. This is the first time I see someone who just woke up. Opposite sex. My heart beat faster for no reason. At the same time, Yi Zan also narrowed his eyes slightly. This was the second time Yi Zan met Su Mei. In fact, compared to a green and sour fruit like Shu Yue, he prefers Su Mei's beauty. Height of 1.72 meters. Exquisite and small face. Fair. Hydrating skin. Graceful long legs like a water snake. Peach. Especially Su Mei's exquisite makeup. It gave her whole temperament a hint of pure desire. Ripe. Charming. Today, Su Mei still wore the thin skirt. But, she changed into a pale golden dress. The clavicle is distinct. Snow-white skin looks very delicate. I just don't know how it feels. Yi Zan took a deep breath and couldn't help but move his index finger in his heart. Classmate Yi. I'm so sorry to disturb you so early. Zhang Tian, a little old man, half squinted his cloudy old eyes, pretending to be very embarrassed, and nodded lightly at Yi Zan. If my unlucky granddaughter hadn't needed that immortal heart to refine equipment. I don't know how to bother you, Mr. Yi, so much. Fine. Yi Zan raised his eyebrows. He looked at Zhang Tian, smiled and said, I understand. He said to the old man. The first impression was not bad. He is an old fritter. But, he has an old face that is cute and naive, and his smile is bright and sunny. It doesn't look annoying. That's good, that's good. Zhang Tian squinted his eyes. He quickly took out something. It's my first time to visit you, Mr. Yi, and I didn't bring any gifts. I'm really sorry to ask you to help me so much. This little thing is a little bit of my heart, old man. I also hope that Mr. Yi won't dislike it. Yi Zan's eyes narrowed slightly. A little confused. Little things. What Zhang Tian gave was not a small item. But a yellow gold level staff. Name. Rose Fireworks. Grade. Yellow gold level. Attributes. Plus 1200 points of spirit, plus 10% blood stealing, plus 6000 points of mana. Exclusive weapon skills. Magic explosion, true damage, blood stealing. The properties work well. Comes with 3 exclusive weapon skills. Hiss. Seeing this, Yi Zan's heart tightened. President Zhang, this gift is a bit heavy. Yi Zan's eyes were a little bright and he glanced at Zhang Tian. Zhang Tian waved his hand hurriedly. Not heavy, not heavy. I am a little old man who is troublesome to you, Mr. Yi, so I must show some sincerity. Classmate Yi, don't worry. After this dungeon is over, I will definitely give you another big gift, old man, to thank you very much, Mr. Yi. Have to say. Zhang Tian speaks very skillfully. It sounds very comfortable. As for Yi Zan, after a moment of silence, he also smiled and accepted the things. Okay, then I will accept it. However, next time, President Zhang, please don't give such expensive gifts. You can't hold them safely. Yi Zan smiled like a spring breeze. How could he not see the little juju in Zhang Tian's heart? Only. For Yi Zan. Since the president of the Magic Association wants to curry favor with him and please him. Just accept it happily. Nothing to lose. It's harmless. Not to mention, the properties of this, rose fireworks, staff are indeed good. It can be used as a backup weapon. Sure. Zhang Tian smiled again. Laughter is like a spring breeze. Yi Zan accepted the gift. After back and forth, the relationship will be stable. Wait for Yi Zan to take off. He, Zhang Tian, can also rise to prominence. It's getting late, classmate Yi, look, we should leave now. Zhang Tian looked at Yi Zan. He said something tentatively. Good. Yi Zan smiled slightly. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Zonghai City. Suburbs. Gold copy. Dragon Valley. Yi Zan took Zhang Tian's private plane and arrived at the dungeon in the suburbs. Ding. Congratulations, you successfully used the yellow gold level ticket. You have entered the copy, Dragon Valley. A cold reminder sounded. Yi Zan opened his eyes slightly. What the hell? As soon as he entered the dungeon, Yi Zan was stunned. Actually, before coming to this dungeon, he did his homework in advance. The copy of Dragon Valley is inhabited by a large number of giant dragon monsters. However, Yi Zan didn't expect that there were so many. At this time, he, Zhang Tian and Su Mei appeared on a cliff. Clear skies. The sky is filled with dragon race wild monsters of different shapes. Moreover, the bloodline strength is not bad at all. Dot dot dot. Name, Flame Dragon. Pedigree, A. Level, LV.105. HP, 5.2 million points. Strength, 1250. Constitution, 1000. Spirit, 1750. Agility, 1320. Skills, Burning Flame, A. Dragon Race Breath, A. Dragon Armor, A. Specialty, Rough Skin and Thick Flesh, A. Dot dot dot. Yi Zan threw an identification technique over. Checked out the largest dragon, the Flame Dragon. Grade. It's actually higher than the Undead Tyrant bosses. Although it is not a boss. But the attributes are not ambiguous at all. Yi Shui's A-level dragon exclusive skill. Plus a rough skin and thick flesh specialty. This Flame Dragon raised its head and its muscles all had a marble texture, hovering in the sky and waving its dragon wings crazily. As huge as a small mountain. Fire Dragon Boss Template. Yi Zan took a deep breath and trembled all over. Somewhat excited. What to say? At this time, above Yi Zan's head, the sky is filled with dragons. If only these giant dragons could be killed. He can madly plunder countless dragon boss templates. And basic attributes. It can even increase by tens of thousands of points or even hundreds of thousands of points. Certainly. In addition to these, there are also a large number of dragon-specific skills and expertise. Even if Yi Zan only killed this giant flame dragon in the end, the benefits he could gain were beyond imagination. A level 100 flame dragon. Not boss. I want to kill this dragon. Even the leading guild in Zonghai City would have to send out the strongest hunting group in the guild to do this. And after killing this giant dragon, Yi Zan can directly switch to the boss template. Transform into a fire dragon. It's a bit exciting just thinking about it. Thinking of this, Yi Zan took a deep breath to calm down the crazy emotions in his heart. Then, he waved his hand slightly. The short sleeves on his body immediately changed into a set of supreme-grade gold armor. Evil Demon Saint Armor. In Yi Zan's hand, he held the Tyrant's Power. 2 pieces of supreme-grade yellow gold level equipment. SR level skills. Forbidden Reflection. Yi Zan raised the staff in his hand. A mantra was chanted. Prepare to release the exclusive skills of the Apprentice Dharma Saint. With the strength of this skill, plus Yi Zan's spell attack power at this time. Flame Dragon. He can be killed in one glance. As for other giant dragon monsters, their health bars will probably be cleared all at once. Classmate Yi. At the same time, Zhang Tian, a little old man, slightly half-squinted his cloudy old eyes and was about to say something polite. Please Yi Zan. So many giant dragons and wild monsters. Zhang Tian took the first step and brought the dragon down to its remaining health state. Then, let Yi Zan start harvesting again. In this way, Yi Zan must look at him differently. In the future, I will think of this little old man from time to time. Then the relationship will be stable, right? However, just as Zhang Tian turned around, he saw Yi Zan switching into supreme-grade yellow gold level equipment. Evil Demon Saint Armor. Tyrant Power. The final boss is exclusive and unique. What the hell? Zhang Tian was stunned on the spot. My mind went blank. Really? The corner of Zhang Tian's mouth twitched slightly, and a trace of panic flashed in his cloudy old eyes. Even his little heart trembled crazily several times. After all, Zhang Tian is also the president of the Zhonghai City Magic Association. From his perspective, naturally, he immediately recognized the two pieces of equipment on Yizan. Isn't it the final reward from the undead tyrant boss? Really? The tyrant mage who is rumored in Zhonghai City is rumored to be a top SSR level professional. It's the person behind Yizan. This doesn't matter anymore. But they are closely related. Otherwise, how could the ultimate weapon dropped by the tyrant boss appear on Yizan? And at this time, Su Mei also discovered the clues. Her beautiful eyes trembled. The little mouth opened slightly, and I was a little speechless. President Zhang. That's. Su Mei looked at Zhang Tian incoherently, her expression almost out of control, and she gasped. Old man, I told you already. Zhang Tian coughed twice and took a deep breath, trying his best to control his panic. He explained to Su Mei. Behind classmate Yizan, the last one is an SSR level head guild. Otherwise, how could he dare to challenge the SSS Level Supreme Trial, and how could he show such terrifying talent? He would be an SR level Dharma Saint in his second turn. Quote. And the tyrant mage who caused a lot of commotion in our Zhonghai city recently, come and see. We are indeed closely related to classmate Yizan. Even the tyrant mage who is on the same level as us, or in other words, has surpassed us, I'm afraid he will have to call classmate Yizan, young master. Zhang Tian let out a long sigh. His expression was extremely complicated. Although, I have already guessed this. You can see it with your own eyes. It still shocked him a little. As for Su Mei, he was completely stunned. Bai Te bit her red lips, and her long and beautiful legs, like water snakes, couldn't help but tremble a little. The tyrant mage who is stronger than both of them. Apex level genius from the province. Forbidden curse. Tens of millions of injuries. Such a big shot. You have to call Yizan, young master. Even. They may be in Zhonghai City, and their only purpose is to protect Yizan's safety. Look at it this way. It goes without saying how scary Yizan's background is. For a moment, Su Mei felt slightly ashamed. Ginger is still spicy. If she had known earlier, she would have prepared a gift for Yizan to curry favor with this young big shot. However, next moment, when Zhang Tian and Su Mei were confused, the tyrant power in Yizan's hand trembled suddenly, and an extremely dazzling holy light burst out. Then, the giant dragons and wild monsters all over the sky were shocked. All exploded. It exploded into dots of experience value modules. Madness surged toward Yizan. Seeing this scene, Zhang Tian and Su Mei trembled instantly. Senseless. Completely confused. Ding. Congratulations, you have gained 40,000 experience points. Ding. Congratulations, you have gained 52,000 experience points. Ding. Congratulations. In the sky, a golden sun shines on the entire forest. The holy light falls. Giant dragons as big as mountains exploded one by one. They all made a pop sound. Exploded into experience points. At this time, Yizan was slightly startled when he heard the cold reminder in his mind. Hiss. Forbidden reflection, is it so strong? Even Yizan himself was a little scared. He didn't expect that the exclusive SR level skill, Forbidden Reflection, he unlocked after changing his job would be so crazy. In an instant, he killed the LV. Level 105 Flame Dragon. Not only that, more than 20 hybrid giant dragon wild monsters were also exploded by the aftermath of the skill. Turned into data modules all over the sky. Certainly. What surprised Yizan the most was the effect of this exclusive skill. Holy light fills the air. Cover everything in sight. Handsome. Exploded. Name. Yizan. Occupation. Trainee Dharma Saint, Senior. Level. LV.40. HP. 76.534 million points, increased to plus 64 million points. Strength. 31,400, improved by plus 17,500 points. Physique. 32,655, improved by plus 18,900 points. Spirit. 37,120, has been improved by plus 21,000 points. Agility, 30,548, improved by plus 16,900 points. What the hell? Compared with the massive amount of experience points, Yizan is more concerned about the improvement of attribute points. Click on the career template. Just glanced at it out of the corner of my eye. Yizan was stunned immediately. This wave comes down. His basic attribute points have exceeded the 130,000 point mark. What level is this? Without any exaggeration, it is already equivalent to 2 Zhong Tian, the president of the Magic Association, who ranks first in combat power in Zonghai City. Zhong Tian. His basic 4-dimensional attributes. A full calculation would only cost around 60,000 to 70,000 points. However, Yizan is twice as tall as him. That's LV. Level 375. SR. Zhong Tian, who is a magician. The apex level figure who is regarded as a benchmark by all professionals in Zonghai City. And now, Yizan's 4-dimensional attributes are already twice his. Not to mention, Yizan also has Yishui's apex level skills and boss template. Switch to a tyrant boss form at will. No need to use exclusive skills. A fireball hit. You can handle Zhong Tian easily. So cool. So much equipment exploded. Yizan took a deep breath, and his heart couldn't help but tremble. The flame dragon is not a boss. However, the items that were revealed were of high gold content. It turned out to be a piece of yellow gold level equipment. In addition to the flame dragon, more than 20 other giant dragon monsters also exploded a lot of good things. Yizan took stock a little bit. There are 3 pieces of golden equipment, 12 pieces of white silver level equipment, 4 A level skill books, and a huge amount of monster materials. Certainly. There are also dragon blood potions. This is good stuff. Once it is put on the market, alchemists will rush to buy it. Comfortable. Yizan narrowed his eyes slightly, feeling in a good mood. This feeling is so good. Silky smooth. Smooth. A giant dragon monster that makes other professionals fearful. Here at Yizan, you can clear them all with just one skill. Can it not make people feel comfortable? Continue. Yizan took a breath and prepared to let Zhong Tian take him deeper into the dungeon. He can't wait now and wants to try the final boss of the copy. That undead bone dragon with SR level bloodline strength. I wonder if the undead bone dragon boss will be killed instantly under the forbidden reflection skill. And at the same time, Zhong Tian and Su Mei were frightened at the same time. Especially Su Mei, who showed a dumbfounded expression like a silly roe deer and stood there dumbfounded. My legs couldn't help but tremble. I can hardly stand anymore. Seconds. A giant flame dragon with over 100 levels. He was actually beaten by Yizan. Not only that, there were more than 20 hybrid dragons who were also killed. Crazy. You call this a level 40 mage? What a fuss. Su Mei felt that her brain went blank for a moment. What to say? Not to mention the more than 20 hybrid dragon species. Even if it's a giant flame dragon. Level 100. That also requires the head guild of Zonghai City to send out the strongest hunting group to encircle and suppress them. But now, Yizan's wave of skills directly cleared the sky of giant dragons. That 100-level flame dragon. He didn't even have a chance to resist. In an instant, the health bar was cleared directly. It exploded. Forbidden curse. That one just now wasn't a skill, but a forbidden spell. Su Mei swallowed wildly. Horror was written all over his face. The beauty faded. Forbidden curse. Tens of millions of injuries. Su Mei was very sure that the total damage of the skills Yizan had just released was more than 40 million for the last time. That thing can't even be called a skill. Or something I haven't seen before. Legendary. Forbidden curse. Suddenly, Su Mei's brain shut down and she muttered out of nowhere. He is a tyrant. As soon as Su Mei's voice fell, Zhong Tian's expression was almost distorted. The corner of his mouth twitched slightly, and he gasped for breath. His already thin body almost stumbled and fell. Grandma's. Zhong Tian's expression was extremely ugly. It felt like I was about to cry. Su Mei can understand it. How come this old man, the president of the Magic Association, can't understand? The truth is revealed. Yi Zan. It's the tyrant who makes all the professionals in the city crazy. If Yi Zan. No. Young Master Yi is a tyrant. That is to say, not long after he awakened his profession from school, he had already killed a level 100 tyrant boss. Learned the forbidden spell. Promoted to level 30 in less than a day. Zhang Tian's lips were already turning purple and he couldn't stop trembling. Now, he was going crazy. Original. He thought Yi Zan challenged the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. Changed his job to become an SR level Dharma Saint. It's perverted enough. He can definitely be compared with those apex level geniuses in Imperial City. In the future, he could even be promoted to the national team and become teammates with the 9-turn Dharma God. However, what now? Zhang Tian suddenly woke up. Compared with Yi Zan, those so-called geniuses in the imperial capital are nothing. As for the 9-turn Dharma God, if they knew about Yi Zan's situation, they would be scared to death on the spot. Think of this. Zhang Tian's old face twitched and he could no longer stand still. His knees were aching and he was about to kneel down with a pop. However, right now, Zhang Tian's head felt hot. Suddenly I realized a problem. Wrong. Master Yi, aren't you only at LV? Level 40. Something's wrong. Even if it's a forbidden spell, the damage results are wrong. Zhang Tian held his breath for a moment. There is a feeling of deja vu that is almost suffocating. That's right. Just now, he was stunned by Yi Zan's wave of full-level operations. My mind didn't turn around for a moment. And now. A little analysis. The problem was discovered directly. Yi Zan is very strong. There is no objection to this. But, it's a bit too strong. This is simply not the kind of damage an SR-level professional can unleash. That wave just now. At least it was the result of more than 40 million levels of damage. Judging from Yi Zan's professional strength, the discrepancy is a bit big. E-level trainee mage. There are only 5 points of free attributes for each level you upgrade. After being promoted to the SR level and becoming a trainee Dharma Saint, you only have 200 free attributes at level 1. But, that wave just now, the final result was 40 million points of damage. How? Don't talk about SSR level professions. Even if it's an SSS level profession, it won't work. Where did you get such high mental attribute points? Zhang Tian's cloudy old eyes widened. Dumbfounded. Judging from his experience, Yi Zan's spiritual attribute points. It should be at least around 10,000 points. Otherwise, it is absolutely impossible to burst out with such strong damage. And 10,000 points of spiritual attributes. Where did it come from? Appeared out of thin air. F*K. Double career. Zhang Tian was startled and had a bold idea. Possible. Yi Zan is not an SR level trainee Dharma Saint. But he has a dual career. Second career. Maybe the intensity has exceeded the SR level. Or, is it SSS level? Otherwise, it is absolutely impossible to have such a high amount of spiritual attribute points. It is absolutely impossible to kill the level 100 tyrant boss in one stage. No. It's also possible that what he just released was the legendary divine level forbidden spell. Zhang Tian was confused for a while. I was almost scared to death. Divine level forbidden spell. The legend. F*K. Dual career. SSS level. Divine level forbidden spell. Zhang Tian opened the corners of his mouth slightly, like a dead fish that was about to faint, and the expression on his old face was frozen. Wrong. I was wrong. Young Master Yi is not a young master from an SSR level guild. He is very likely a descendant of those old people. Zhang Tian is really going to collapse. Asphyxia. If, according to his guess, Yi Zan's talent is probably going to be improved to another level based on the original one. Background. It still needs to be upgraded to another level. In this case, Yi Zan is no longer a young master from a provincial SSR level head guild. Probably. It is the top of the Great Shillong Kingdom. The descendants of that group of old people. The old man here. Naturally, it refers to the existence of the national team. If a big figure like the nine-turn Dharma god is the strongest general in the Great Shillong Kingdom, it means that the country has the strongest combat power on the surface. So, those old people. It's the generals. Great emperor. Monarch. I'm afraid that only apex-level figures like them can cultivate a perverted little monster like Yi Zan. He's only level 40, and he can easily kill a whole wave of hybrid dragons in seconds. Possess divine level forbidden spell. Dual careers. The second career is conservatively estimated to be SSS level. What the hell? Full of talent. The background is full. Come to think of it. Zhang Tian wished he could kneel down to Yi Zan on the spot. It's scary to think about it. It's terrifying to think about it. At this time, Zhang Tian was really about to cry out in pain, his whole old face was twisted, and his expression was almost crazy. President Zhang. At the same time, Yi Zan turned around and looked at Zhang Tian, who looked dumbfounded, and Su Mei, who had a shocked expression like a silly roe deer. Can't help but be slightly startled. Ahem. Seemingly. Did the operation you just performed scare these two big shots in Zonghai City? Give me a hint. Ah. Yi Shao. Zhang Tian was agitated, came to his senses, and hurriedly nodded and bowed to Yi Zan. President Zhang, it's time to go. Go to the final point of the dungeon. Yi Zan glanced at Zhang Tian and felt dumbfounded for a moment. How? This little old man even changed his name. It seems. I briefly showed off the operation, which really shocked people. Okay, just listen to Mr. Yi. Zhang Tian felt his throat felt astringent, and his heart was shaking so much that it hurt. However, but he hurriedly put a gentle smile on his face and smiled flatteringly at Yi Zan. Standing in front of me. That's most likely. The grandsons of those apex-level big shots in the imperial capital. If this is a good relationship, I am afraid that I will be able to soar into the sky in the future. Think of this. Zhang Tian's expression immediately became lively, and he hurriedly followed Yi Zan. Master, please slow down. Here comes the old slave. ... And at the same time, Su Mei opened her mouth slightly like a silly roe deer, and looked at Yi Zan and Zhang Tian who had gone away, completely confused. Huh. President Zhang. What kind of burning operation are you doing again? This time. Why don't you take me with you? Dragon Valley. Copy. 2 days later. Ding. Congratulations, you have gained 120,000 experience points. Ding. Congratulations, you have received the boss exclusive reward, Ice Dragon Spear Platinum level. Yi Zan sat behind Zhang Tian's pet beast, Flamingo, and narrowed his eyes slightly. He smiled contentedly. Before, frost dragon bosses that was more than 100 meters long had been smashed into pieces. That's right. Just now, Yi Zan killed a LV. Level 170 frost dragon. However, he didn't take much action during the whole process. Basically, it was Su Mei and Zhang Tian, the magisters, doing crazy output. Then, Yi Zan randomly put some basic skills. Harvest the frost dragon boss. Not just now. In the past 2 days, Yi Zan has been showing off. It feels great to have a big boss taking you flying. Yi Zan raised his brows and couldn't help but chuckle. Since 2 days ago, after Yi Zan showed off a wave of operations in front of Zhang Tian. Zhang Tian and Su Mei flattered him to the extreme. No longer pretending. Go straight up and try to curry favor. Please. All wild monsters and boss. It was Zhang Tian and the two who took the initiative to reach the remaining health. Then begged Yi Zan to harvest. With the help of these two number 1 figures in Zonghai City, Yi Zan was successfully promoted to LV. Level 60. Want to upgrade again? You need to go to the job transfer temple to complete the 3rd transfer. Name. Yi Zan. Occupation. Trainee Dharma Saint, Senior. Level. LV.60. HP. 188 million points. Strength. 72,900. Physique. 79,560. Spirit. 82,600. Agility. 77,450. Skills. Dharma Saint, Senior, Holy Light Explosion, S, Divine Wrath, Senior, Forbidden Reflection, Senior, Holy Light Reflection, S, Holy Light Breaking Dawn, S, King Flame, S, Pyroblast of Destruction, S, Ice and Snow, S, Absolute Zero, S. Specialties. Demonic Blessing, SSS. Frost Bloodline, S, Rough Skin and Flesh, A, Bloodlock, A, Life Strengthening, A, Mana Strengthening, A. Equipment. Tyrant's Power, Supreme Grade Gold, Demon Saint Armor, Supreme Grade Gold. Rose Fireworks Gold. Boss Template. Frost Dragon, S, Undead Tyrant, A, Undead Skeleton, A, Flame Dragon, A, Emerald Dragon, A, Ice Dragon, A. Hiss. Yizan clicked on his career template and looked at it. Just for a moment. He couldn't help but gasped, a little shocked. Burst. It was so explosive. Yizan's current basic attributes. It has exceeded 300,000 points. Currently, we have more than 40 boss templates. There are 7 or 8 A-level bloodline boss templates. My current basic attributes are equivalent to those of 5 Magic Association presidents Zhang Tian. Yizan narrowed his eyes and murmured secretly in his heart. According to Yizan's estimation, his current strength is probably equivalent to the level of the Great Demon Instructor in the admissions offices of the 4 major universities. Even SS level Great Demon Instructor with around LV level 600. They may not be able to do it better than Yizan. The reason is simple. Yizan can switch boss forms. Not to mention the S-level Frost Dragon boss. Even if it is a tyrant boss, they can make those great demon instructors cry. Hiss. It's actually a platinum level weapon. I didn't expect that an S-level Frost Dragon boss actually exploded with a platinum level weapon. Behind the flamingo, Zhang Tian looked slightly stunned. Then, he swallowed Xingzi. He looked at Yizan and said with a smile on his face. Master Yi, it's a pity, little old man, I am a magician, so I don't need this kind of physics equipment. What's more, this giant Frost Dragon boss, Mr. Yi, you have contributed more, so just accept this, Ice Dragon Spear. Mrs. Zhang made a look of regret. And at this time, Yizan couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth slightly, and he couldn't help but laugh or cry. This kind of picture. He has been seen too many times in the past 2 days. In order to please him, Zhang Tian basically gave him all the rewards revealed by the boss. And this time, excuses. It's even a little bit outrageous. Magister profession. No need for the Ice Dragon Spear. Then I am a trainee Dharma Saint. Just use it. The mage uses the Knight's Lance. What a fuss. However, the actual situation is, Yizan can really use it. Under the effect of the SSS level, Devil's Blessing, Specialty, Yizan had already plundered all professional templates. Now, he can not only use physics equipment, Knight's Spear, Archer's Bow and Arrow, Assassin's Blade. Yizan can use it. Moreover, it does not affect his ability to use his original, Tyrant Authority. As long as this, Ice Dragon Spear, is placed in the equipment slot, Yizan can enjoy the attributes of the platinum weapon. Okay, then I won't refuse. When the time comes to defeat the Undead Bone Dragon bosses, that immortal heart will definitely be left to you, President Zhang. Yizan looked at Zhang Tian and said with a spring breeze. Okay, great. Zhang Tian immediately pretended to be surprised and nodded hurriedly. Frost Dragon boss. The appearance is quite cool. Yizan jumped off the flamingo. Arriving at the Frost Dragon boss. This giant dragon. The appearance is quite domineering. More than 100 meters long, the muscles all over the body are like granite, filled with a metallic texture. Ice blue lines cover the entire dragon body. Especially the pair of petrified golden pupils, with blooming patterns, giving people a chilling feeling just by staring at them. Like, deep in those golden eyes, the blood of the dragon is burning. Still not out. I don't know what it feels like to switch to the Frost Dragon boss form. Yizan took a deep breath, and his heartbeat accelerated a little. I felt excited. Or, if the Frost Dragon boss template can be extracted and placed on Xiao Bai. Is it possible to directly obtain a Frost Dragon mount? Yizan thought to himself in his heart. I was inexplicably shocked by my own thoughts. Noob. It's his pet dog. A snow white Samoyed. According to Yizan's idea, he can loot boss templates. But what if? Can the boss template be extracted and given to other professionals or pets? Yes or no? In a sense, this frost dragon boss can be reborn. My mind is a little too big. Can. It doesn't seem impossible. Perhaps, through subsequent job transfers, this ability can be unlocked. Yi Zan was stunned for a moment and couldn't help but smile. He already has the SSS level demon god's blessing. Boss templates can be looted. Just in case. Subsequent job transfer will unlock another SSS level specialty. Boss templates can be extracted and given to other professionals for use. That would be interesting. Name: Ice Dragon Spear. Grade: Platinum level. Attributes: plus 2600 points of strength, plus 300 points of spirit, plus 25% physical critical hit. Exclusive weapon skills: Wither, True Damage, Restraint, Critical Strike. Hiss. After admiring the frost dragon for a while, Yi Zan set his sights on the Ice Dragon Spear. This is Yi Zan's first, platinum level, weapon. As expected, the attribute effects are explosive. The appearance of the Ice Dragon Spear is also very exquisite. It's more of a work of art than a weapon. It feels good to hold in your hand. Good. Yi Zan couldn't help but raise his eyebrows and smiled. In a world where everyone changes jobs, equipment quality is divided into black iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, star, epic, legend. A platinum level boss exclusive weapon may be nothing in the imperial capital. Available in Zhonghai City. It is already at the ceiling level. If Yi Zan hadn't been there, Zhong Tian may have put away this Ice Dragon Spear long ago. Even if Su Mei opens her mouth, Zhong Tian, a little old man, would probably shake his head like a rattle, completely ignoring him. Continue. Yi Zan narrowed his eyes slightly and couldn't help but take a deep breath. He is in a good mood now. I already want to go to the final point of Dragon Valley as soon as possible. S-level bloodline frost dragons have already revealed such supreme grade things. Final boss. SR level undead bone dragon. I guess the final reward dropped will be even more surprising. Yi Zan was slightly looking forward to it. Master Yi. Right now. Zhong Tian took small steps and walked up to Yi Zan, coughing twice with a slightly complicated expression. What's wrong? President Zhong. As such that. There is something wrong with the copy of Dragon Valley. Zhong Tian swallowed his saliva and smiled, feeling hesitant to speak. Yi Zan was stunned. What do you mean? Zhong Tian took a deep breath, as if trying to organize his words, and remained silent for a while before continuing to explain. Original. Isn't the final boss of the dungeon an SR level undead bone dragon? But now, something is wrong. I just got the news. A hidden boss appears in the copy. SS level blood demon. Rank. LV. Level 370. Yi Zan was suddenly startled. My heart couldn't help but tremble twice. SS level Balrog. That is the apex level bloodline boss in the Abyss world. Very strong. The dropped items from the explosion are basically twice those of normal boss. The quality will also improve a lot. With the appearance of the Balrog boss, the Dragon Valley copy is no longer a yellow gold level copy, but has been upgraded to diamond level. Now, professionals from Zhonghai City, and even professionals from Zhongnan province, all rushed over and went to the final point of the dungeon. The point is, the corners of Zhong Tian's mouth twitched slightly. He looked at Yi Zan with an ugly expression. People from the national team are here too. The 13th national team, a great demon mentor named Yang Yun, brought his little niece from his guild to the Dragon Valley dungeon, and announced that, for safety reasons, all other professionals should leave. Speak plainly. This is a copy of the preparation blockade. Swallow the undead bone dragon and the fire demon boss. Yi Zan frowned. Is the national team so arrogant? Block copy. Take the boss all to yourself. Tell me more details. Yi Zan murmured expressionlessly. Then, Zhong Tian spent half a minute explaining the situation in detail. Yi Zan finally understood. Yang Yun. SS level. Holy Flame Great Demon Tutor. LV. Level 720. Official member of the 13th national team. It is very famous in Hangzhou. Currently ranked 327th on the national server rankings. Yang Linger. SS level. Dragon Knight. LV. Level 74. Yang Yun's niece. Yang Linger's father founded an SS Level Guild, the Eternal Guild, in the imperial capital. In general, these two people have very tough backgrounds. The professions are all very strong. Now, Yang Yun is ready to swallow up the Balrog boss and the undead bone dragon boss. On the one hand, he wanted to get an SR level dragon mount for his little niece. On the one hand, I am also quite greedy for the exclusive rewards from Balrog. Then what? Yi Zan touched his nose and smiled gently at Zhang Tian. Zhang Tian was confused. Then what? All are SS level guilds. A great demon instructor with over 700 levels. Even. Plus an SS level Balrog boss. Then no. Little old man, what I mean is, otherwise we will withdraw. Zhang Tian's face felt embarrassed. I couldn't help but smile. Master Yi, look, why don't we withdraw first? Zhang Tian said with a flattering smile. He is indeed the #1 combat force in Zonghai City. SR level magician. But Zhang Tian couldn't even defeat the fire demon boss. Not to mention Yang Yun, a member of the national team. If you go to the final point of the copy now. He was worried something might happen. It's nothing to do with myself. Just in case something happened to the young master Yi Zan. Then the problem is a bit serious. In Zhang Tian's view. No matter how strong Yi Zan is. Even if it is really a dual career. There is a divine level forbidden spell. Even that can't stand up to the country's great demon mentor, the Holy Flame. A rank of more than 700 levels. How scary. Why withdraw? Yi Zan raised his brows and smiled like a spring breeze. SR level Undead Bone Dragon. SS level Balrog. SS level Dragon Knight. SS level Holy Flame Great Demon Tutor. This wave. You can get 4 Apex level templates directly. Why withdraw? What a fuss. As for the national team member named Yang Yun. It's just over 700 levels. Yi Zan frowned slightly. I weighed it in my mind. If you switch to the Frost Dragon boss form. If nothing unexpected happens. Should. Being able to defeat that so-called big shot in the imperial capital. That's a member of the national team. SS level Great Demon Tutor. A rank of more than 700 levels. Not only that, they are also members of the SS level Eternal Guild in the imperial city. At this time, when Su Mei heard the conversation between Yi Zan and Zhang Tian, her delicate body trembled several times. The beauty faded. His little face turned pale with fright. Want to cry. In the past 2 days, under Zhang Tian's influence, Su Mei had a rough understanding of Yi Zan's background. Very strong. However, no matter how strong it is still background. Now, the 700 level boss specially trained by the national team is here, let's go and do it. Isn't it a bit too impulsive? Fine. Yi Zan looked at Su Mei and smiled slightly. I'm very interested in that SS level Balrog boss. Yi Zan didn't explain too much. Instead, he walked straight towards the final point of the copy. And at this moment, Zhang Tian suddenly took a breath of air. Really? If it were said that Zhang Tian had still had the slightest doubt about Yi Zan's identity before. So now, he was completely sure that Yi Zan's background was absolutely terrifying. Otherwise, national team member. SS level guild. Balrog boss. Just pick one up and it will scare the average professional out of his wits. As for Yi Zan, so calm from beginning to end. You didn't take Yang Yun seriously at all. It can only explain one problem. Yi Zan's background is strong enough to ignore Yang Yun, a big shot in the imperial capital. Even. Zhang Tian's heart suddenly stopped beating. A little bit suffocating. Even since we entered the dungeon, Master Yi has been following an Apex level master, whose rank is at least 7 or 800 and above. Zhang Tian murmured thoughtfully. My whole body could not help but tremble several times, and my scalp felt numb. Totally possible. Even people like Yang Yun didn't care. Doesn't this mean that Yi Zan is accompanied by a great god for personal protection? Thinking of this, Zhang Tian's old, cloudy eyes widened and he glanced around. Can't see anything. But, the less he notices it, the more frightened he becomes. Dragon Valley copy. Final point. Damn. I'm so nervous, the SS level Balrog boss is about to come out. Why are there so many people? I came so early and I couldn't even get a front row seat. The great demon mentor of the 13th national team. Yang Linger, a genius girl from the imperial capital. Apex level bloodline boss in the abyss world. This is so exciting. But, don't you feel a little unhappy? Why did Yang Yun of the national team block the copy and let us all leave? What the hell? Brother, are you okay? Do you think you can beat the SR level undead bone dragon? Or do you think you can beat the 400 level Balrog boss too quickly? What's more, he is on the national team, and he is you're from the imperial capital, what can you say against me? Ahem, that's true. This time the Dragon Valley dungeon has been upgraded to the diamond level. What can I say? Even if President Zhang and Master Su Mei of Zonghai City come, I'm afraid they will do something. Just stare. The great magician in the imperial capital has us watching, it's already pretty good. To give you a brief introduction to science, Yang Yun is a tutor of Holy Flame Great Demon, SS level professional strength, and a popular boss in Hangzhou. She is not only a member of the national team, but also ranked 327th in the national server rankings, legendary the master of national standards. Oh my god. Are you so strong? I'm a little excited all of a sudden. Not only that. Did you see the girl next to the great demon instructor? She is Yang Yun's biological niece, a double SS level professional dragon knight, who has been admitted to the Tito University, under the exception, and her father is a member of the SS level Eternal Guild founder. With her professional qualifications, she can be specially recruited to the national team within 2 years at most. It is said that she seems to be a reserve member of the national team now. Hey, that's awesome. Just saying that, I'm satisfied. The battle ahead will be absolutely exciting. I can't wait. At this time, the final point of the dungeon caused a huge uproar. The professionals from Zonghai City and Zhongnan province were all extremely excited. Yang Yun, Yang Linger. Their identities were soon discovered. Yang Yun is not just a member of the national team. He is also the master of national standards. As for Yang Linger, a genius girl from the imperial capital, SS level dragon knight. These two big shots from the imperial capital suddenly made all the professionals at the scene go crazy. Although, Yang Yun directly blocked the dungeon and prepared to swallow the Balrog boss alone. Even the undead bone dragon has been taken over. This wave of operations. This made the professionals present slightly unhappy. But, after all, he is a big shot from the imperial capital. It's the national team again. It doesn't matter how unhappy I am. Not to mention, Balrog's rank and bloodline strength are simply not something ordinary professionals can fight against. Even the head guild in Zonghai City. S-level Winter Guild. S-level Gold Rose. Even though several leading guilds joined forces, they couldn't defeat the Balrog boss. A fire demon with a higher rank than Zhang Tian. It's the Abyss World Apex level lineage again. Professionals in Zonghai City. You really are not qualified to take down such a strong boss. So, everyone was relieved at once. After all, Yang Yun allowed them to watch. You can see the operations of the national team boss and the national standard master. Everyone is very satisfied. This kind of opportunity is rare to see. Lu Qing, we can see the SS level Balrog boss later, and we can also watch another wave of Apex level operations by the national team master. It's so cool. The huge crowd is at the front. Johan narrowed his eyes slightly and smiled flatteringly at Lu Qing beside him. Well, I'm looking forward to it too. After hearing Johan's words, Lu Qing's plump lips curled up slightly and she responded with a polite smile. However, her expression was still cold. It feels like you are smiling but not smiling. That's right. Johan and Lu Qing also came. The Dragon Valley dungeon was directly upgraded to the diamond level, and the hidden boss Balrog appeared. The Imperial City National Standard God brought the talented Dragon Knight girl to Zonghai City. A series of gimmicks that are all too attractive. So, Johan brought Lu Qing to the Dragon Valley dungeon. I want to witness the elegance of the National Standard Master. After all, Johan is the young master of the Winter Guild, so it is not difficult to get a golden dungeon ticket. What's more, since Xu Yue was scolded by Xu Yue last time in school, Lu Qing's attitude towards Johan has become much colder than before. Johan wants to please the goddess. Save your face. Lu Qing, Wait a minute, after the great demon instructor leaves the dungeon, we can go to the final boss circle and walk around. Maybe you can pick up some good stuff. Big shots like Yongyun and Yonglinger have very high vision. It's very possible that they don't like some of the scraps revealed by the Balrog boss and don't even want them. When the time comes, won't we be able to take advantage of it? Johan half squinted his eyes and said to Lu Qing with a flattering smile. However, hearing these words, Lu Qing frowned slightly. Do you call this a bargain? Isn't this picking up trash? Things that the Emperor does not want. You rush to pick it up. Really? Next work. Lu Qing took a deep breath and tried her best to control the turbulent emotions in her heart. She rolled her eyes at Johan with some contempt. Then, set your sights forward. The center of the boss array. There. Yongyun and Yonglinger were sitting behind a golden dragon. That golden dragon is Yonglinger's mount. It took a long time to cultivate. It is said that the money spent on cultivating a golden dragon mount can buy an S-level guild. Pity. They are all women. Lu Qing's eyes were fiery and she sighed with a complicated expression. Certainly. Only she could hear this sigh. I don't know who has a stronger background compared to Lord Tyrant, or Yongyun. Lu Qing murmured thoughtfully. He couldn't help but move his graceful body slightly. Even the cheeks were a little red. Ever since she met the Tyrant, Lu Qing has been thinking about that apex-level genius from other provinces. She was a little obsessed. No matter what, we must catch that SSR-level genius from another province. She only became a famous lady in the imperial capital. Less milk. Milk. Only then can she escape from the status quo. Only then can we not stay with people like Johan. It's hard to say what the background is, but Tyrant is definitely a potential stock. Lu Qing raised her chin and smiled seductively. And next to her, Johan was dumbfounded by Lu Qing's smile, and swallowed his saliva hotly. So greedy. F***K, look, who is that? President Zhang. Palace Master Su. Suddenly, there was a burst of restlessness among the crowd of onlookers. Zhang Tian, the #1 combatant in Zonghai City. The most powerful person in Zonghai City is Su Mei. He actually came too. Only. The next moment, everyone couldn't help but frown, a little confused. Because, between Zhang Tian and Su Mei, there was a professional wearing golden armor, holding an exquisite power in his hand, and an ice blue spear behind his back. The figure is quite tall and straight. He is also very tall. Only. Who is this? Damn it. He actually walked between Zhang Tian and Su Mei, two high-ranking bosses in Zonghai City. There seems to be something. The sight of Zhang Tian and his two bosses clearing the way for him. A bit scary. However, soon, everyone recognized who it was. Evil Demon Saint Armor. Tyrant Power. Isn't that the damn exclusive equipment released by Tyrant Boss? Hiss. Tyrant. He even came to join in the fun. Hiss. As everyone recognized the Tyrant. All of a sudden, the scene completely exploded. The hissing sounds of gasping air came and went one after another. Everyone's emotions were aroused in an instant. No way. During this time, the reputation of Tyrant in Zonghai City is too great. Even, in a sense, it has overshadowed Zhang Tian and Su Mei. After all, it's an SSR-level profession, it's a forbidden spell, and it's said on the internet that it has an extremely terrifying background. Such a young big shot is so eye-catching. How could it not explode? It is no exaggeration to say that the Tyrant has become a topic of conversation for professionals in Zonghai City. It is difficult to avoid him no matter what they talk about. Oh my god, it seems that those things spread on the internet are true. The background of Tyrant is so scary. The president of the Zonghai City Magic Association and the goddess Su Mei of the Transfer Temple are actually opening the way for him. And, with that posture, President Zhang is like a personal follower. Hiss. Terrible. Again the Imperial City National Standard Master, and another SS-level genius girl. Now, even the tyrants are joining in the fun. I can't even imagine how exciting the battle will be. On site, a city standard professional with a rank of over 200 took a deep breath and said a few words in a trembling voice. Suddenly, everyone's expressions lit up. They were all so excited that they were speechless. Yes, so many big guys gathered together. Wait a moment. The SS level Balrog boss will appear again. The scene will definitely be quite exciting. This battle may even make everyone famous. Don't talk about Zonghai City. I am afraid. The whole country will be shaken. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. And at the same time, Lu Qing looked at that familiar figure, her expression immediately froze, and she felt suffocated in her heart. Tyrant. That SSR-level genius mage from another province. Strong background. A young and wealthy man. The tyrant that she, Lu Qing, longs for. Finally. See you again. But this time, Lu Qing felt even stronger about the tyrant. Because the existence that even Zhang Tian and Su Mei want to please, how can he be a small person? The background of the tyrant is definitely stronger than what is reported on the internet. Even, maybe stronger than Yang Yun and Yang Linger. And the temptation of such a big shot is too strong for Lu Qing. At this time, she opened her mouth slightly, her eyes were blurred, and she murmured to herself in a sticky little voice. Tyrant. Lu Qing, look, that's a tyrant. Johan took a deep breath. The mood was extremely exciting. He took out a peach from his pocket. Already overcooked. The fingertips pinched slightly. Then the water came out. Johan pinched some pulp and stuffed it into his mouth, while his eyes were still staring in Zhang Tian's direction. He said to himself, I didn't expect that apex-level genius from another province is here too. It's quite exciting now, we can watch a good show later. Johan took a deep breath, chewing the peach in his mouth. Then, Lu Qing looked to the side and asked, would you like some? This peach is very tender. Lu Qing remained silent. Johan frowned and found nothing unusual. Only, he didn't know. At this time, Lu Qing was just like that peach. Or, dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. At the same time, Yi Zan, Zhang Tian, and Su Mei also came to Yang Linger and Yang Yun. Yang Linger's height is about 1.74 meters. The figure is quite graceful. Everything is straight and orderly. The flesh and bones are well proportioned. She is plumper than the royal sister Su Mei. Especially those beautiful legs like water snakes. Fair. Tender. As for looks, Yang Linger's facial features are very delicate. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a divine dish. Charming. But his eyes were very cold. It's a bit similar to Lu Qing. However, according to Yi Zan's experience, Lu Qing's aloofness was just an act, cold on the outside and hot on the inside. Yang Linger is different, perhaps because of her background, but her cold temperament is genuine. Yi Zan narrowed his eyes slightly, feeling moved in his heart. Aloof. Pride. That's what makes it interesting. There are a lot of fun things to do. Hello, President Yang, I am Zhang Tian from the Zonghai City Magic Association. When Zhang Tian saw Yang Yun, he hurriedly narrowed his cloudy old eyes and smiled flatteringly at Yang Yun. I'm Su Mei. Su Mei was stunned for a moment, and then she said hello to Yang Yun in the same way. Oh, it turns out to be President Zhang, hello. Yang Yun raised her chin and responded with a smile. Then, his eyes were on Yi Zan. The words were spoken to Zhang Tian. President Zhang, what's the matter? Ahem. Hearing these words, Zhang Tian unconsciously took a deep breath, coughed twice, nodded and bowed with a smile and said. It's okay, I just came to take a look. Didn't the Dragon Valley dungeon just upgrade to diamond level? The hidden boss has also appeared. Little old man, I'm also very curious. Correct. This is Master Yi Zan, SR level trainee Dharma Saint. We have successfully challenged the SSS Level Supreme Trial Tower. Quote. Zhang Tian introduced Yi Zan's identity. I only talked about the basic situation. Forbidden curse. Tyrant. Not a word was mentioned about these things. Oh. Yang Yun raised her eyebrows. His expression did not change much, and he still said slightly unhappy. It would be nice to challenge the SSS level trial tower and complete the second turn. He is a good prospect. If he works hard, he will hopefully join the national team in the future. This year, there are 200 to 300 young professionals in the imperial capital, all of whom have completed the SSS level supreme trial. Our Yang Linger, second and third rank, are all supreme trial job transfers. Yang Yunpi smiled but didn't smile. Inside and outside the words. They were all trying to suppress Yi Zan secretly. What to say? Zhang Tian brought Yi Zan here. The meaning is not obvious yet. I want the final boss reward. Come to grab something. If she, Yang Yun, could be happy, she would be a ghost. Naturally, there was an unhappy tone both inside and outside of his words. As for the SR level trainee Dharma Saint, this year, the Imperial City has produced several young professionals who have reached SS level in the first place. It's not a big deal. Young people, you have to keep your feet on the ground. Don't make some achievements and then fall into disrepair, otherwise. Yang Yun snorted coldly and focused on Yi Zan. This sentence refers to Yi Zan. Zhang Tian and Su Mei greeted her as soon as they came up. There was a flattering smile all over his face. And this Yi Zan. To this day, he remains silent. I'm afraid he's not a fool of a man. What's more, Yang Yun has a good reputation and will definitely give Yi Zan a few words. Alright. President Zhang. No more to say. The Balrog boss will appear soon. You should leave immediately. SS level Balrog. I'm afraid, even you, President Zhang, will be frightened. Yang Yun narrowed her eyes slightly, snorted slightly, and said with a smile. Zhang Tian looked stunned. I can't get off stage. He understands the ways of the world. I can also tolerate it. But, are you from the F*King national team so arrogant? Did the Balrog boss scare my little old man? Pretending to be crazy. Now, Zhang Tian took a deep breath and said nothing. He just looked at Yi Zan beside him. The little old man felt a little frustrated. At this time, he shouldn't speak. Instead, we should look at what Yi Zan means. After all, in Zhang Tian's view, Yi Zan must be followed by an apex-level professional master. It is very likely that the master is currently in the Dragon Valley dungeon, keeping an eye on the situation at any time. Walk. Why are you leaving? Mr. Yi didn't say anything. Zhang Tian couldn't help but feel nervous. She really hoped that Yi Zan would just hit Yang Yun head on. This bitch. I spoke too hastily. What if I said no? In Zhang Tian's expectation, Yi Zan sneered slightly and looked at Yang Yun indifferently.